Okay, let's run.
You don't know what this is, do you? Aztec gold. The heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse. 10 years we searched. Every last piece we have found, save for this. Hello, Bobby.
They've taken Elizabeth.
Welcome aboard the Black Pearl.
We must save her. Where do we start?
Jack Sparrow. He talked about the Black Pearl.
Make a deal with him. He could lead us to it.
You forget your place. You are a blacksmith.
If you spring me from this cell, I shall take you to the Black Pearl and your bonny lass.
You're a pirate.
Forgot one very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Not sure I deserve it. You're not facing normal pirates. Cruel, demented, vicious pirates, to be certain.
Say goodbye. Goodbye.
But cruel, demented, vicious pirates who cannot be killed. The moonlight shows us for what we really are.
That's interesting.
We are cursed men.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore.
You better start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Gents, you all remember Captain Jack Sparrow. Kill him. I'm gonna teach you the meaning of pain.
You like pain? Try wearing a corset.
Here they come.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse of the Black Pearl.
I may have deserved that.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 20th anniversary celebration of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Boy, does it feel good to be back in the virtual movie theater here at Neuroculture. I am your host, Ryan of Neuroculture, and I am not alone on this adventure to the seven seas, across the seven seas, in our ships, whether it be the Interceptor or the Dauntless, however you want to go about it. Please welcome my Mr. Gibbs to my Captain Jack Sparrow, Savvy. Tim is in the building. Tim, how are you, fine sir?
Yeah, no, I don't like that with the Gibbs. I'll be Orlando Bloom.
It could be Will Turner. That's fine.
Let's go with that.
Cool. No worries, man. Well, it's good to have you here. We're happy that you're here with us. And for those of you just joining us, don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you have any favorite memories of the movie, any favorite moments, maybe some of the things you like about this movie, maybe some of the things you may not like about this movie, name some of your other favorite action adventure movies. Let us know all your favorites, all your great things, all those wonderful things in the comments below. Also, we are going to be watching this movie on a physical media or a streaming service. Before we hit the play button on our physical media or streaming service, we want to give you a chance to get to know our panelists a little bit more. I'm going to turn things over to Will Turner. So, Tim, I got to ask you, when you heard that this theme park ride was going to be turned into a major motion picture, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and directed by Gore Verbinski, starring an eclectic cast of people, what were your thoughts on that? And also, what were your memories of seeing this 20 years ago?
I mean, honestly, this is like, I've always liked movies, watching movies when I was a kid. I didn't really get into the whole mind space of rewatching these movies and seeing maybe what could have done better with plot or whatever until years later on. So hearing something about this, it was like, oh, okay, because I'm not really familiar with theme parks or theme rides like Pirates of the Caribbean. So I heard, I was like, okay, this could be fun, and went to go check it out one day. I was like, oh, this is a good film to just sit back, watch, have some fun with. And then, of course, we had another one. It was It was good and fine. I think I probably liked the first one a little bit better, but they were still pretty good. And then I loved the third one, but that was more for the soundtrack more than anything. I loved the songs for that one. But yeah, it just came across like, oh, okay, this could be fun to see or what have you. I've never, it was never really something on my mind like, oh, I can't wait for this. I really hope they pull this. It's just like, okay, this seems like fun. Johnny Depp's a good actor. Let's see what it could do. It has Jeffrey Rush. Let's see how it could go. And it's a fine, fun movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. I've watched it plenty of times before. So it'll be interesting to see it because I haven't seen it for a while because I let my Disney Plus go because there's nothing really on there I really care to watch anymore. But so it's going to be interesting to see if it holds up, I guess, for more entertainment value because, you can pick any movie apart for story of what makes sense or not. I think it's really more entertainment value, your enjoyment with it. And, I always enjoy stuff like this. So it's more just going in there, just shutting your brain off and just having fun with the adventure of it.
Gotcha. Rock on. So for me, when I heard this was being turned into a movie, there was a featurette that they did a behind the scenes thing. I can't remember what VHS I found it on or what DVD it was at the time. But I remember seeing the preview for this, and I thought, "Wait a minute! They're taking a theme park ride and making it into an adventure movie? I don't know. How's that going to work?" But then the movie came out way back when in 2003. My mind was blown. I saw it in the theater. I loved all of it, every single minute of it. I had so much fun watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes with celebrating it for its 20th anniversary. I liked it because the score was incredible. The score was so good. It's adventure times 1,000. Klaus Badelt with assistance from Hans Zimmer and his crew. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, the score of a movie really does play an integral part in a film.
It's its own character in a lot of movies.
It really does.
You could say that with Star Wars, with Star Trek, especially another big one of mine. If you have a good soundtrack and good musical score with it, it's its own character because it can build moods, tenseness, drama, joy, sadness, all the emotions it can build with the right set of notes. And when you have Hans Zimmer involved in any way with that, when doesn't he?
Hans Zimmer. Yeah, the guy's a beast. He's one of the best in the world today, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie, watching it way back when. Looking forward to seeing how it goes down here in just a moment. But before we get to that, our next panelist is here in the building. Please welcome. He is a member of the Distance Nerding community. Phil's in the building. What's up, Phil?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How are you doing, Phil?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you not ready for your close-up yet, Mr. DeMille?
Oh man, yeah. It's funny that you say that, but me and my wife were just talking about DeMille like 2 days ago, man.
Oh,
We're not gonna get into that, but were we just talking about our first experiences with the Black Pearl?
Yes. The question on everyone's mind is before we start watching the movie and hitting the play button on our streaming service or physical media. Once again, we're going to be starting at the 00 or if not 01 second mark on a streaming service or physical media. But Phil, what was your reaction when you heard that this movie was going to be this theme park ride was going to be turned into a film? And then what was your memory of seeing it way back when in 2003?
Oh, if we're going that route right there, so. When I heard they were making a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I was like, why? We don't need this. This is not something we need. Why would you do that? And then I remember seeing the trailer and being like, okay, this actually looks pretty good. I still was a little bit skeptical. And then I remember seeing it in theaters. And I remember, loving it so much that I wanted to sneak into the next theater and watch it again. And yeah, that's where that goes. Like I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed this version of this movie in general. The franchise, I mean, I went 2 more movies before it kind of started dropping off a little bit, but I've seen them all. So I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I as far as establishing characters and establishing the story and everything that they did, I 100% love the first movie.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Totally, absolutely. And we thank you for being with us. Now we are going to be watching this movie on a physical media streaming service.
I will say to
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead, Tim.
Phil's assessment of why are we doing this is pretty much whenever I see every remake in the world coming, like, why are we doing this?
That's a whole other discussion, though.
I know, but
there's a difference between a theme park ride being adapted into a film and remaking something that was made 30 years ago.
Give it 10 more years, we could have Pirates remade.
Well, they've talked about
rebooting it with funny of all
female. I think it was a female cast too.
But you know who they had cast for the longest time before they scrapped it, right?
Who was it?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Oh, it was Margot Robbie at the time. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Okay, I remember what you're talking
Wasn't
about.
it her? I thought it was Mila Kunis, but maybe I'm thinking.
No,
it was Margot Robbie, and she was gonna play
Barbosa's granddaughter or something.
Well, she's supposed to be. So on the ride they have they converted the auctioneer, and now she's like the pirate queen or whatever.
No, I didn't know that. But that's cool.
That character.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's played Harley Quinn all these years. She could play a pirate queen. That's not much of a stretch for you, Margot. She can do it. I believe she can do it. But hey, she's busy being a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Whatever.
Which I'm probably gonna go watch after we finish this tonight.
Oh gosh, you're gonna go see Barbie?
Okay. You know what, dude? It's not just the trailers that are getting me on that. It's all the reviews. They're all saying it's ridiculously meta. That it is one of those movies where
it's like Deadpool.
Kind of. The way that they're advertising it is, if you love Barbie, you're gonna love this movie. If you hate Barbie, you're gonna love this movie. Like, they're doing it the marketing in this way. Like it's like Barbie lives in her own world. She's depressed. She there's a scene in the trailer where she goes, "Have you guys ever wondered about dying?" And everybody looks at her like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Right? Like, so it's the idea is that Barbie lives in her world and then comes to our world, and I think like the meta nature of it is something that I'm willing to give a try.
I mean, didn't they do that some time ago with the movie Enchanted with Amy Adams, and then they made the sequel 20 years later?
Oh yeah, wasn't that the one where she was like the cartoon and came out?
Yeah, they were all animated characters in their own little world, and then they get sucked into the wormhole, and they come into our world, and they're real people and not just cartoons. Yeah. So who is it? It was Amy Adams, James Marsden, Patrick Dempsey was McDreamy, the love interest in that movie. I think Susan Sarandon, I think, was in that. Susan Sarandon in that?
Which I know they just did a sequel to that movie. So I mean,
yeah, but I think Susan Sarandon was in the sequel. I can't remember. I think she was. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But oh god, don't get me started. So, if you have any thoughts about this movie, Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, because for me the sequel's never happened.
He's like, I have thoughts.
You have thoughts. Let us know in the
some of the sequels to Pirates happen.
We'll get into that. But in the meantime, let us know your thoughts on this movie. Let us know your thoughts on your favorite action adventure movies, all that kind of stuff. We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Hit play. Let's go. We're going to dive into this thing. No pun intended.
Okay, my audio's not right here.
Let me know if you need to step out of the studio for a minute.
No, it's okay. I turned the volume down because
cool,
on Disney Plus, it doesn't give you the option to like change the audio settings. It's like, come on, Disney.
This is why I love Voodoo, because you have everything you can change.
I mean, I'm on my tablet, but I just turned the volume down, so I'm good.
Okay, I love this song. I'm sorry. This is probably one of the things that brought me into this movie.
I mean, the soundtracks to especially the
eerie
first 3
beginning
are so good.
It's a very eerie beginning too with her, and I didn't even know that was young Elizabeth singing the song. I thought it was some singer doing a young childlike singer doing it, but it was actually Elizabeth the whole time.
Right, and she's obsessed with pirates, and it's kind of like I like that idea that you have her obsessed with pirates.
Yeah, she's fascinated by them. And by the way, I want to take a moment to acknowledge our good friends here in the chat, and don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. Whether you're watching us live on the replay, welcome, and we are so thankful that you're here with us. Dave Mattingly says, I gave them the benefit of the doubt turning a carnival ride into a film. After all, it starred Johnny Depp. And then he goes on to say, after all, I never would have expected a movie that was based on a board game to be any good, but Clue with Tim Curry and company was astounding back then.
Well, it's Tim Curry.
That's true, Dave. By the way, he goes on to say the movie Enchanted was pretty good. Elf has a similar concept. Well, that's true. I guess I can give you that one. Dave Manley says my favorite movie sword fight is from the sequel on the detached water wheel in Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah, that was very good fight choreography in that second one.
That's fair. And then Sherry Cook Woolsey is here with us. Hello, Sherry. How are you? She says, "Gotta set the vibe." Yeah, gotta set the vibe, Sherry. Yeah. Gotta set the vibe with Elizabeth singing, "Yo ho, pirates life for me." By the way, Jonathan Pryce, I was introduced to him professionally as an actor in the James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies as Elliot Carver, the antagonist of that movie.
Right.
Does anyone remember his appearance in that movie? That was pretty good.
Can you guys hear me now?
Came from.
No, I can't hear your audio.
You can't hear the movie at all?
No.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Can't hear anything. I mean, we can hear you commentating, but we can't hear you. For a technical standpoint, we can't hear the audio of the film. Let's just be perfectly honest.
No, good. I'm just making sure we're not getting taken down because Disney.
No, can't hear anything.
No. Okay, good.
You hearing anything, Tim? I'm not.
No.
Yeah, all right, you're cool.
If Disney is that bitter, but it's like, yeah, that's okay.
Remember, it's an algorithm and it listens to everything on its own.
That's true.
And they need every penny they can get now. So, yeah.
Oh boy, we got it. Man overboard. Oh man, that ship is torched. Ship is done. That ship is done. I think we're going to get to this here in a moment here within the film Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, which turns 20 years young this month. Happy anniversary, by the way. Do they just change their wigs in the time jump here in a minute? I feel like they just changed the wigs. They don't age a day.
I mean, they probably changed the way
The men do.
Add like
obviously,
powder.
Yeah, obviously Elizabeth and Will age, but
yeah,
I think what is the time jump? 8 years or 10 years later?
I think it's 10 because I think they're like 18 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, Phil.
I think they're like 22 in the time jump.
Yeah.
So maybe they're 12 here in this scene.
I don't.
Between 10 and 12 is what I'm thinking. Young Will Turner and young Elizabeth Swann is. And by the way, I didn't get this. Who plays young Will and young Elizabeth? Because they actually did all right for their bit part.
I mean, for kid actors, yeah, they did pretty good.
I wonder who played Elizabeth Swann. I'm curious now.
I think Phil's looking it up, but
I don't have the list in front of me here, but
we couldn't hear you, Phil. You're muted.
Well, that's because he's doing his research. He doesn't want to be overheard.
Oh, I thought he said it, and then
no, he's muted though, Phil.
He's trying to. I don't know.
He muted himself.
There's audio problems here, folks.
For Phil, there is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was muted that whole time.
That's what I was like. Phil's talking like.
Yes, you were muted for the last little bit.
Okay, so one more time. You guys can't hear the movie, right?
No.
You can't hear the movie.
Tim, you can't hear anything, can you?
No, I can't hear the movie.
No, I can't. No, you're good on that front, Phil. It's just that you were muted that whole flipping time.
That's why I'm like looking down. Like I didn't know I was muted. Okay.
No.
So I'm looking up young Elizabeth Swann.
Yeah, and young Will Turner. Who's the cast? I wonder who the cast was. By the way, this was my introduction to Keira Knightley as an actress. And the fun fact about her, she did a movie a couple years prior to this called, I think it was simply called Princess of Thieves, because she plays Robin Hood's daughter in a Disney movie. A live action movie. It wasn't animated.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember that? Princess of Thieves?
I do not actually.
Okay, well, there's a fun fact for you. That was one of her first gigs before she did this movie.
I had a giant crush on Keira Knightley just because of this movie.
Oh, 100%. Same here. Same here. Guilty as charged. And let's see here. Dave Mattingly says, who's your favorite of the background pirates? I love Rigetti, the one with the wooden eye.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Rigetti is awesome. I also like the guy that's with him. I didn't realize he was American for the longest time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the actress that plays young
Elizabeth,
her name is Lucinda Dresik. Let's check. See anything else that she's been in.
Will Turner. I'm gonna see if I can look up the. Let's see here.
So, so she's been in Pirates of the Caribbean, City of Ember, 5 Days, Silent Witness, London Kill. So I mean, she hasn't been in anything like huge. She was in the new Twilight Zone.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, that's the one on.
By the way, the movie Princess of Thieves was originally released in 2001, 2 years prior to Keira Knightley's appearance in Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, and she was the main star of that movie, Princess of Thieves.
Yeah, that one I never saw. Oh, she was also in Doctor Who.
Good on you, Keira Knightley.
Well, no, the
Elizabeth Dressick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who was she in? Which Doctor Who was it?
It just says Doctor Who TV series. It was in 2006.
So it's a new series.
Yeah,
it was only in one episode, so it wasn't like.
Yeah.
Was it before Christopher Eccleston took over the role? So it was Was it David Tennant? Not David Tennant. Who was the guy before that? Oh, I forget his name. This is killing me.
No, it wasn't Matt Smith.
No, it wasn't Matt Smith. It was somebody else. I can't remember the doctor though. All I know is Matt Smith, David Tennant, and is it Sherry Coleman who was the female doctor? Sherry Coleman? I forget.
No, it wasn't. No, it was Jodie Whittaker. I think.
Jodie Whittaker. Thank you. I don't know why I thought somebody else. Jeez.
All right. So young Will Turner is a guy named Dominic Scott Kay.
That name sounds familiar.
Let's see here. He was in he stopped acting in 2011.
Jeez. Some years after this movie came out.
Yeah, he was in Knucklehead. He was in House.
Oh, he was in House. Nice. I like that show.
Snow Buddies. He was in NCIS. He was in the Tuttle's Madcap Adventures. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. You know what? He was in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
The sequels that never happened. Okay, cool.
And he played young Will Turner again.
They happened, Ryan. I mean, on Stranger Tides.
Here's the hot take I'm going to have for everybody in the Pirates of the Caribbean yard. For me, the only sequel I remotely enjoyed was on Stranger Tides with Penelope Cruz and Ian McShane.
Really?
That was the only sequel I enjoyed. I didn't even bother seeing Dead Man Tell No Tales because by that point I was checked out of the franchise. So, yeah. But Pirates 2 and 3 can jump off a cliff, but Pirates 4 I can watch.
He's the voice actor for Wilbur in the live action Charlotte's Web movies.
Wow. Who is the
young Will Turner?
Wow. I remember seeing that movie. Did I see that in the theater? I think I did. Yeah, that was with Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
And Julia Roberts was the voice of Charlotte.
Yeah, he played Wilbur.
Good on you, man. He's got some good acting credentials there.
Good way. He was in Minority Report.
Oh, with Cruz and Farrell? Okay.
Yeah, he played young Sean.
Oh my god! So he basically has a knack for playing younger iterations of characters.
Yeah. You know what? He was on American Idol too.
Jeez, this kid's been everywhere. Pirates, ye be warned.
Okay, so this is the scene that brought me into this movie, like 100%. Like I was on board after this scene because like it was already like the way they're introducing everything was like this is dope. This is pretty badass. But then like when Johnny Depp comes in as Captain Jack Sparrow, and just the swagger and kind of just the way that he talks his way out of everything, I was like, this dude is awesome.
What do you say to 3 shillings? We forget the name.
I mean, I think the theme alone, that intro theme for Jack Sparrow was just great, because really, like, you're getting the explanation, the characters, the world a little bit so far, and then you just pumped right back into it with the Sparrow's theme. Right.
I love that. Like, again, he's such a thief that he's just like, I'll give you 3 shillings. I can't afford it because I'm going to take your entire bag. Don't worry about it. Oh man, all the pomp and circumstance of the British Army.
Yeah, they were dominant for 200 years, and
And Dave Madley goes on to say, Jack sailing into town is one of the all-time great character introductions.
It is. And again, I love this next part right here where he hops on the boat and he goes, "It's such a pretty boat." I mean,
I'm telling, Yeah, it's good stuff. And for those of you just joining us wondering what the heck is going on around here, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. We are currently at the 11-minute and 22-second mark here in the film. If you're just joining us, feel free to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service. Let us know your thoughts about this movie, positive, negative, or anything in between, in the comments. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends.
I had to stop myself there, Ryan, because I was about ready to put my popcorn down and go look at where you were at. I forgot you said you were going to do that tonight.
Yeah.
One of the other things
I can call out the timestamps for this one, fellas.
Yeah. One of the other things I did like about kind of how they kind of spun this franchise is throwaway lines. Like there are throwaway lines that Jack has in this movie that they have entire storylines on later on in the series, right? You know, clearly you've never been to Singapore, right? And then you go to Singapore.
There's so many,
You know, like there's so many different things that he says that are just kind of like, again, just like, oh yeah, it's just a little throwaway line. It was a nice little one-liner that he has. And then, you know, had a brush with the East India Trading Company, I see. And then you see him fighting the East India Trading Company later on. Like there's so many different like kind of cool things that they kind of like rolled back to this movie as many times as they could.
Yeah, I mean, going forward for the story of this, Dead Man Tell No Tale, or Dead Man's Chest and At World's End is just a giant story of that, really. I mean, yeah, you get it later on with the other movies, but
right. My man's so evil. Spat back out.
The hell itself spat him back out. No, but I have seen your shit with Black Sabbath. Oh, have you? It's. I mean, and then when he does what he does here in a moment by rescuing Elizabeth when she falls over, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old film, and he cuts off the thing that's what is it? The corset. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he says, and the guy sitting next to him says, "I never would have thought of that. Clearly, you've
never been to Singapore."
I'm thinking to myself, there are so many good, and he makes fair points. It's like, do you not know how to rescue a woman? Like, do you not know that like corsets like choke women to death?
Yeah,
like,
it's restricting their breathing. I mean, it's restricting all of their middle body. Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, it's like Jack's like the only normal one going back into that mindset of like, duh, this is what you have to do.
But I mean, part of it's also just kind of like, you know, in this time period, like men were so afraid of women in general, right? So like, we can't touch them, we can't do this, we can't do that. And Jack is such a man of the world that it's just kind of like, well, I've been with women, and I'm not
I've been everywhere.
You know, I'm not a 40-year-old military dude that's, you know, basically never seen a woman in his life. So like,
yeah. Well, that's kind of one of the downfalls of the British at the end.
But the costumes in this movie are great.
Oh, they are. They're on
great. They're on point. I mean, Keira Knightley, any outfit she looks gorgeous.
I mean, look at the sets themselves for the time period. They were damn well spot on. I mean, just this base of Port Royal alone.
Royal, yeah. And Dave Mattingly goes on to say Johnny Depp based his acting on Keith Richards, so it was incredible when Richards actually showed up as his dad in the next or so installment.
Right. So when these movies came out and I had them on Blu-ray, I was big on special features, and that's, I mean, I still am, but I mean, like, that's one of the things that they explained was that they cast, when they were casting his father, they cast Keith Richards specifically because Johnny Depp based his entire performance on Keith Richards, and Johnny Depp said that like he was kind of starstruck a little bit because he was just like, oh, this is the dude that I based this character on, and when he showed up in character to Keith Richards was like, you're not doing it right.
Will you be saving her then? I can't swim.
Fine members of the Royal Navy, you are.
Do not lose this. Oh gosh, so good. Like, he's a pirate, but he goes out and saves her. Like, he still does what needs to be done. He does right.
Because the thing is that as much as he's not trying to be a hero, he does what he does. He does the right thing. You know, it's kind of like
and the funny
little bit of an anti-hero.
He is. And I mean, like, that's kind of always been something that Jack is like. If you notice, like, kind of like the through point, he's almost like a Han Solo, right? It's he's a scoundrel. He's a dirty son of a gun. But he will do the right thing when it comes down to it.
Well, the question I have for you is, when it comes to the character of Jack Sparrow, is he a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun.
Woo!
There you go. By the way, you're going to love this. This is a quick side trip before we dive back into this movie, pun intended. I saw a video on a lovely thing called YouTube where it was a group of like 10-year-old kids doing with the kid in the center. It's a baseball team, a youth baseball team with the kid in the center cutting a Ric Flair promo exactly word for word. And then he says, I want you to give yourselves 2 claps and a Ric Flair. And these kids couldn't have been more than 10 years old. And I'm thinking, that's how far his reach is. Ric Flair reaches all generate. Whether you watch wrestling or not, you know who Ric Flair is.
Right. I mean, at this point, it's kind of like just exactly what you said. At this point, Ric Flair is he's a cultural phenomenon more than he is a wrestler. You know, because half the kids have probably never watched a Ric Flair match in their lives.
No,
but they know who Ric Flair is.
He cut a promo one time, and this is way back in the early. This is before he actually formed the 4 Horsemen back in the early '80s.
Right.
He says, "I don't care if you're in Asheville. I don't care if you're in Greensboro." And when he mentioned Greensboro, I'm like, "Dude, that's where I am now. That's awesome." You know, like he's mentioning all these different places. And he's like Tokyo, Japan. I don't care if you're in Asheville, New York City. Like,
well, you know why his daughter goes by Charlotte, right?
Rocket's promotion.
What's that?
You know why his daughter goes by Charlotte? Because her name is not Charlotte. Her name is Ashley Fleer.
Yes.
Right? But I mean, like, she goes by Charlotte because that's where they're from.
It's Ric Flair country.
Right. Well, that's where she grew up. She grew up in Charlotte. So she was just like, I'm going to call myself Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, when in the movie here of Pirates of the Caribbean, not to get too sidetracked, when he looks at him and says,
I have expected to be made of wood.
Jack Sparrow. And actually, it's Captain Jack Sparrow. If you don't, I don't see your ship, Captain. I'm in the market, as it were. It's just there's so many good one-liners with this.
Right.
I was out there, the worst pirate I ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
It's so good. Oh, I love it. And then, what is it? Elizabeth is saying, hey, he may have been a pirate, but the guy saved my neck. Like, you can't just throw him in prison.
One good deed does not end the life of wickedness. He goes, but it is enough to condemn him.
It does seem to be enough to condemn him. Indeed.
And my hat. I love that his hat is so important to him. Like, it's a throughput in all the movies that the hat is the most important thing.
And my hat. Commodore. Oh, God, I can quote this. Miss Swan. It's Miss Swan, if you be so kind. Oh, so many good lines.
I'm just thinking back to the line, like when he was on the boat and he tells them that he's a pirate and he wants to go to Tortuga, and he goes, "We told you not to lie." He goes, "I don't think he is.
I think he's telling the truth. If he wasn't telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us."
Easy on the goods, darling.
Easy on the goods, darling. You're despicable. Oh, Keira Knightley plays this so well.
My lady.
You always
remember this the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. And again, just kind of it ultimately doesn't get away, but it's like, the way that he just kind of gets away from them, like it's so epic. Just Jack, and he's accidentally like making his way through half of this stuff.
I'd be scared if I were swinging on that thing with nowhere to go, with like no platform. I'd be so scared of that part. See, jumping onto it, I wouldn't have a problem with, but if I'm swinging with nowhere to, granted, he finally finds himself another platform.
Right, but like he looks like he's scared, like crapless, right there. Like,
Then he uses his cuffs to slide down the rope, which is very smart because if you use your hands are going to be severely
you're gonna rip them up, right? But like, I mean, like if you really look at it, he looks like he's terrified, and he's just kind of like doing this by the seat of his pants because he's like, I need to get it's survival mode. I need to get the hell out of here.
And Dave Manley goes on to say, he's got to be the worst pirate I ever heard of. But
you have heard of me.
So, by the way, Dave Manley, thank you for being here. And thank you who may be watching or listening to this right now. Don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. We are currently at the 20-minute and 50-second mark here in the film. If you're just joining us, you want to queue up your copy in a physical media or a streaming service, please feel free to do so. Let us know your thoughts, positive, negative, or somewhere in between, in the comments or the chat below. We would love to hear from you. I want to thank each and every one of you for chiming in. And thank you to our panelists known as Tim and Phil for being fashionably late.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have work, so
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. We're used to it. And let's see here. Cam Smith says, Phil, I thought you were the Timu version of Deadpool.
that's what I normally have on there, but I changed it to bargain bin Deadpool. So
Oh, touche. And then he goes on to say, and why is all the rum gone?
why is the rum always gone?
We haven't gotten there yet, Cam. We're like an hour and a half away from that scene. Gee whiz, dude. We haven't even gotten that far yet. We're still in the first 20 or so minutes of the film. Oh yeah, people felt bad for the donkey.
Yeah,
They felt bad.
Will Turner.
But it does cut up his handcuffs though, so he's not like completely cuffed.
Right.
But it's just like, how drunk is he to not hear?
Oh God. Okay, so this line is one of those lines where I was like, how do you get away with this in a movie that's supposed to be for kids?
Which part?
Where he goes, I practice. He said, I practice 8 hours a day. So when I meet a pirate, I can kill him. And he goes, you practice. He goes, you practice 8 hours a day. You need a woman love. Not a eunuch, and he goes, you're not a eunuch, are you? And I'm like, that is not a kid's joke.
No, it's not.
Especially if you know what a eunuch is.
But at the same time, I believe when this movie came out, and even to this day, it's rated PG-13, so little kids shouldn't be watching this. Only teenagers and above.
Yeah.
But then again, who listens to ratings? Parents take their kids to R-rated movies every day, which I don't understand.
You know, this was a movie that nothing but kids watched.
Yeah, that's Dave Madley says, who invited Legolas? Who invited Legolas? Well, he is one of the lead actors in the movie, Dave. That's why he's in it. I guess in this case, in the movie Lord of the Rings, he says, you have my bow. But in this movie, he should be saying, you have my sword.
The other thing is I love that Jack just kind of like he's walked him through. Like he's giving him like a lesson.
Yeah, he's giving him pointers. You're pretty good, mate, but how is your foot?
How's your footwork?
See, if I go over here.
And I love that the whole point of him doing the lesson was just to position himself back where the door was at.
Where the door was at. That's a fair point.
That's a good throw.
Oh yeah,
dude! When he throws that straight into the door, and he says, "Wait a minute, how is that even possible? Let me see if I can open the door." Oh gosh, this movie is so good. That is
me and my way out.
Wonderful trick.
Now, I have no weapon, and grabs a hot sword. Which, if you guys know anything about swords. You know, like that sword would snap.
Oh yeah,
if they actually fought like that. It's good for like a movie thing, but it's like it's not a tempered sword. That sword would just like snap.
Yeah, it's called movie magic.
Right, because it's at molten level at that point.
Exactly, so suspension of disbelief.
And I mean that's what it is, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Who makes all these?
3 hours a day.
I mean, suspension of disbelief. Michael Bay got.
You need to find yourself a girl.
Yeah, who'd have thought that someone who trashed him in the press would ended up working for him again 8 years later for the Ninja Turtle reboots with Megan Fox?
Right? Or perhaps the reason.
Yeah, exactly.
The wound said something. You're not a eunuch, are you? And looks at his.
You need to find yourself a girl, mate. Let's see here. Dave Manley chimes in here in the chat. He says, what's your favorite Johnny Depp film? For me, it's The Ninth Gate. Dave, I know what movie that is, but I have not seen it. And then he says Ed Wood is another favorite of his when it comes to Johnny Depp's filmography. Favorite Johnny Depp movie?
I'm between Crybaby.
That's fair.
People
mentioned that over the years.
Crybaby and maybe Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, Scissorhands, yeah. You know, I haven't seen the Edward Scissorhands in ages. I should go back and rewatch that, see if it holds up.
Yeah.
Gosh. Johnny Depp.
But I love Crybaby, man. It might be just because I had this phase where I love like doo-wop movies, and him playing Crybaby with Ricky Lake and everybody else in that movie. That movie was great.
That's a good point. I'm trying to think of other I mean, obviously, this one is one of my all-time favorite Johnny Depp performances, hands down. This one,
Right.
Pirates of the Caribbean, respectively. But I'm trying to think. I thought Donnie Brasco was okay. Not great, but it was good for what it was. Because he plays opposite Al Pacino in that movie. That was a good one.
You cheated, pirate.
That's the thing. Pirates cheat. They lie, cheat, and they steal. They do whatever it takes to win. Pirate.
And like you said earlier, this comes back later. Like, this bullet is not meant for you.
Please
Right.
move. This bullet was not meant for
And I love because it's foreshadowing, right? I mean, the whole idea is he's talking about this, and without context, it's like, wait, what does that mean? Right. And then you see like the look on Orlando Bloom's face, and then the old man knocks him out. So it's like,
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You've held the apprehension of a dangerous future. Just doing my civic duty.
doing my civic duty, sir.
Yeah, right.
Hella drunk.
Orlando Bloom's face just like
Completely drunk. By the way, Dave goes on to say, Phil, I recently saw Crybaby the musical on stage.
Nice.
Wow, good for you, Dave.
Not Johnny Depp, but I mean that. Okay, again, hold on. Another holding the thought. Another scene. I love the callbacks to the ride. Right, so all these guys in the cell trying to get the dog to give them the key.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a callback to the ride.
The dog is never going to move.
I'm surprised no one said Fear and Loathing for a Depp movie.
I didn't like the movie in the end, but I did think his performance in Public Enemies was pretty good as John Dillinger.
Oh, yes. No, yeah.
Do you remember that one, Phil?
Yes, he was really good as John Dillinger.
He was really good as John. The movie overall wasn't great. It wasn't his fault. The movie around it wasn't all that great, but his performance was solid.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of other good Johnny Depp movies. I mean, I remember the classics, but I'm trying to think.
I mean, what's Eating Gilbert Grapes, an early one?
Yeah. That one was okay though. See, people hyped that up for me so much, and then I saw it and I'm thinking, this coming of age movie was I've seen better ones in the genre, respectively, but it was
Well, I think every generation has their own certain coming of age movies they gravitate towards.
I mean, that movie had an all-star cast. I mean, it had young Leo DiCaprio. It had Juliette Lewis as one of his two love interests in that movie. You also had Mary Steenburgen as another woman who was his love interest.
Yeah.
And What's Eating Gilbert Grapes specifically.
All right, gents, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the oldest movie that he has.
Yeah. Wait, what? Are you talking about his appearance in the first Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, his first appearance was Nightmare on Elm Street,
which is one of the best horror movies ever made, by the way. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Private Resort, Lady Blue, Dummies, Slow Burn, Platoon. That's right, he was in Platoon.
Oh, he was in that? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being in there.
Yeah, he was in Platoon. RPG, Hotel, RPG 2, Crybaby, like I mentioned, one of my favorite.
Was one of them.
21 Jump Street.
Yep, the TV series.
Right.
That was on Fox, I believe.
Edward Scissorhands, Freddy Dead: The Final Nightmare, Arizona Dream, Lemonheads, Benny and June, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Ed Wood, which was something that was mentioned in the chat here. He played Don Juan DeMarco.
Oh.
I can see that, yeah.
Interesting. Dave Mattingly says, What's Eating Gilbert Grape is still my favorite Leo DiCaprio film. Wow. Of all the films that Leo DiCaprio has done, that's your favorite.
I have a fondness for Gatsby myself, one of his later ones.
I would go Inception, man. I think
that's a good one.
When it comes to DiCaprio, one of the first things that comes to my mind is it's definitely Inception, 100%.
Inception, but then also The Departed, because his performance in The Departed was amazing.
There's a lot of good performances.
I don't think the Departed is great as a lot of people make it out to be, but it's a good movie, but it's not great. But Leo DiCaprio in the movie with that accent and him playing an undercover cop like that was, and that's like Leo DiCaprio fully grown up. You know what I mean?
Okay, one of my favorite all-time Leonardo DiCaprio performances.
Yeah. Which?
Gangs of New York.
Dude, I need to go back and rewatch that because I remember loving that movie when it came out.
Gangs of New York. I just rewatched it recently. It still holds up, but I mean, of course, it's a Scorsese film, so of course it's going to.
True. I need to go back and rewatch that.
So good, man.
Dude, that had a great plot. Such a great that whole movie. It's so good. I got to go back and watch that.
Oh, I hated fighting this little bastard in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you go to
Oh, the bomb guy.
yeah, I hated fighting him so much.
Look at Will Turner. He is going out to be prepared. He's got like 2 axes, 1 or 2 swords, 1 little sword. He is prepared, baby.
You also don't, they kill everybody and realize that nobody's gonna die. So spoilers for a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
He's going out there fighting like it's a goddamn patriot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that movie is probably going to be brought up on Monday when we talk about Dark Knight, because that was one of Heath Ledger's movies, The Patriot.
Yes.
And fun fact, yes, we are celebrating the Dark Knight's 15th anniversary on Monday, July the 24th. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some great guests there for that, so make sure you tune in. All the links are available on our social media for you to bookmark and click on it, remind you of that, or to be notified of when we go live officially. But yes, but in the meantime, we hope you're enjoying the destruction of Port Royal in this movie known as Pirates of the
Here we go.
Caribbean.
Here we go. I love this scene right here.
The Curse of the Black Pearl. We are at the 32-minute
Hello,
and
chum.
8-second mark.
And then when he finds her in the closet, hello, puppet.
Hello, Parlay. What? Parlay? Anyway, so we're
when Johnny Depp says it later, and he goes, "Damn the hell, whoever came up with parlay." That would be the
French. It's too good. It's too good. But this is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearls, 20th anniversary spectacular. Don't forget to like and share this with every single person that you know. If you have any thoughts about this movie, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat, whether you're joining us live or on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service. Watch the movie along with us, because we love to see and hear your thoughts in the chat. We love it. Dropping the ash right in his face. I'm telling you, like, you may think she's a damsel in distress, but she has ways to get herself out of tricky situations at times. And by the way, Dave Manley says parsley, parsnip. That's what.
Parsley, say. And he goes, parlay. That's the one.
Parlay. So many good lines.
Going back to Johnny Depp performances, another one that I thought was good that a lot of people were like, Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod Crane.
That
I actually liked his Ichabod Crane.
I liked his movie. I didn't like it as much as the TV series Sleepy Hollow with that actor Thomas Maine. I think not Thomas Maine. Forget it. Something or other. He played Ichabod Crane. He was great in the TV series, but
I mean, going off of something that's more
I got it.
Akin to the legend, which again didn't follow the legend all that well, but I mean, still, it was enough to, it was enough of a decent story. It still was like following the Disney version more than it was doing like the actual story, but
true. Yeah. By the way, here's a movie I sort of regret seeing with Johnny Depp: Transcendence.
Oh shit.
Anybody remember that?
I do actually.
Dude, I remember seeing that in the theater because the movie looked so good from the trailer, and then I watched the film and I'm like, what was that exactly?
Yeah. What? Parlay. I invoke the right of parlay.
Hello, parlay. What? Parlay. I invoke the right to parlay.
I know the code.
According to the code, you gotta take me to your captain. I know the code. I know the code. These two knuckleheads are so good in this movie. They're so good. She wants to be taken to the captain, and she'll go without a fuss.
We must honor the code.
We must honor the code.
As they're just robbing and just blowing shit up.
This town is being decimated at this point.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye. Goodbye. Sign. I'm a little behind you guys. I think I'm a few seconds behind you before the sign hits them, time-wise, but I digress. Goodbye.
Some more Johnny Depp movies. We've got Blow, From Hell.
I still have not seen Blow or From Hell yet.
Both good movies. Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Dude, I actually like that movie. A lot of people don't like it, but I actually like that. Have you seen that?
I didn't have a problem with that movie.
Right.
That's Desperado, right? It's the movie that
was the trilogy under to Desperado, yeah. And El Mariachi was the other one, Phil.
El Mariachi was the first movie, right?
Oh, that's right. It was Mariachi, and then it was Desperado. You're right.
Right. It was El Mariachi. It was because
Robert Rodriguez, I believe.
Right, but it wasn't.
Was it? It wasn't meant to be a.
No, what's his name played him in the second movie?
The other guy.
Spanish actor. What's his name?
The other guy.
Very, very, very famous Spanish actor.
Not Andy Garcia, not Javier
No.
Bardem.
Like from Spain though, like not
And it wasn't Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. That's who we're thinking of right now.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas was Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Yeah,
Right, and well, Antonio Banderas played El Mariachi in the second and third movie.
Yeah,
but he didn't play El Mariachi in the first movie.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret Window, which actually was not a bad movie. It was,
Dude, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, Johnny Depp's performances. That's one of my favorites. A Secret Window, definitely.
Finding Neverland.
I actually like that movie too. That's another one of my favorite performances. He played J.M. Barrie in that one.
Here's a movie that's very divisive, but this movie followed the book a lot better than the original one did, but a lot of people like the original one better. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
I will take Gene Wilder over Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
the thing is the movie overall, like barring Johnny Depp's performance as Willy Wonka, that movie followed the book to a T.
Oh, I did not know that.
Whereas the original one with Gene Wilder was very different.
Oh yeah, they took liberties from the book.
Yeah, it took a lot of liberties. Where,
liberties,
yeah, where
I
Charlie.
still think overall better movie.
Yeah, I agree that I didn't like his performance as Willy Wonka. I wasn't a big fan of that performance.
What was I'm trying to think of what it was. Does anyone remember, or not remember, but has anyone seen recently? This is going back to something that's recently. And how do we feel about Timothée Chalamet playing Wonka in that trailer?
I think he looks great.
Do you think he's going to pull it? You think it's going to pull? You think it's going to? He's pull it off?
He's pulling off very Gene Wilder vibes.
Now is this like
it's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
It's basically how Willy becomes Wonka.
I just don't know how I feel about prequels in general because it's like I don't really. Some characters I really just don't want to know the story. You know what I mean?
Like the crap out of her.
She's invoked the right to parlay with Captain Barbosa.
You will
speak only when spoken to.
You will not lay hands on those under the protection of parlay.
Yes, sir.
The first and second
I'm terribly
Captain
sorry.
Barbosa and Jack the Monkey.
Yeah, we named Jack the Monkey.
We named the monkey.
Oh, we named the monkey Jack.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Jack. You're welcome. By the way, Jeffrey Rush, I remember him as Casanova Frankenstein.
Yes, he's so good as Captain.
That was my introduction to him professionally as an actor. And then when he did this movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy has some serious range.
He does.
And then he did it again in what is known as the King's Speech with all the Oscar noms.
Yes,
that movie got.
Jeffrey Rush is a chameleon, man. He can turn into any character he needs to.
Oh, by the way, Dave Manley says, I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
It means no.
It means no, Miss Swan. Dave Manley says, Casanova Frankenstein. Yes, Dave, I said it.
Here's another divisive Johnny Depp movie, Sweeney Todd.
You know, I saw the musical live at my college campus, but I haven't seen the movie version. I got to be honest with you. As someone who doesn't like musicals very much, I actually liked my college campus's version of Sweeney Todd, which makes me more inclined to go back and watch Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp.
A lot of people don't like it because people felt that it didn't do the Broadway show justice.
Okay. Well, if I watch Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp, I'd be okay watching it personally because I can tell the difference between the musical and the creative liberties of the movie. I'm sure it takes.
Right. Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which is also the final performance of Heath Ledger.
Speaking of the Joker, which we'll talk about on Monday.
Right. But again, I thought that was another great movie, the concept of it.
Depp says, Dave Manley says, I enjoyed Johnny Depp's Dark Shadows movie.
Yes. Haven't gotten there yet, but yes. The Tourist is another one that
that movie was billed as something and it was something else entirely. That movie let me down so badly.
Really?
Yeah, the Tourist was bad. It is one of the worst cinematic experiences I ever had. I walked out of that movie thinking this was not what I thought it was going to be and not what it should have been. It was totally misleading.
First, your return to shore was not part of our negotiations, nor our agreements. I must be doing nothing. Secondly, you must be a pirate for the code to apply, and you're not. What we call guidelines than actual rules.
My goodness. Phil seems to have a really good handle on quoting this movie, and I thought I knew how to quote films. But once
Welcome
again,
aboard the Black Pearl, Miss Turner.
Miss Turner. By the way, if you were just joining us for this quote along of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl for its 20th anniversary spectacular, we are at the 41-minute and 8-second mark in the film. If you're just joining us, queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service. Watch the movie with us. Share your favorite things about it. Maybe not so favorite things about it. Or maybe some of the sequels that came and went in the comment section below or in the live chat, and let us know how you feel. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends.
I love how like Will walks up and is just like in full badass mode where everybody else is like, we're trying to figure out strategy, all this other stuff. He just walks up with a hatchet in his hand. Like, I just killed a bunch of people.
It's the Patriot.
It really is.
It's like kind of like the
He's
Patriot.
just not covered in blood.
You know, I finally saw that movie during the lockdown because people have been telling me about it for years and years and years and years and years. And plus, Heath Ledger, I wanted to respect his memory.
Yeah, I love it.
And I watched the movie and I thought, you know what? The Patriot is actually it's a pretty good film. I thought it was a pretty good film. So if you haven't seen The Patriot, Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger long before he passed away, feel free to watch it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it's not historically accurate at all.
But it's so
not,
good.
But at the same time, when you have who is it? Mel Gibson, Heath Ledger, a young Mika Borum from Blue Crushes, and that, and also Jason Isaacs plays the bad guy.
Oh yes, Jason Isaacs was so good.
He was so good as the antagonist. I mean, he was.
Jason Isaacs before he played
Preacher too. I can't remember who played him.
Yeah, Tom Wilkinson was in The Patriot too.
Yeah, I was saying Jason Isaacs before he played Malfoy.
Malfoy's dad. Yeah. And by the way, Dave Mattingly says favorite Heath Ledger performance for me. It's A Knight's Tale.
That's why I first became acquainted with Heath Ledger was Knight's Tale. Love that movie.
For me, it was 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You is a darn
that's
good
right.
movie.
You know, no, 10 Things I Hate About You is the first time that because that's the first thing I noticed when they announced. We're not going to get into that because that's another movie.
That's a discussion for another day entirely. By the way, real quick though, do you and the missus watch 10 Things I Hate About You for a date night?
We do not.
You should. It'd be a good date night movie for you and the missus. I'm just pointing that out there. You can ask her. You can ask her after the show. Be like, hey, honey, Jackie, do you want to watch 10 Things I Hate About You later this week?
We can go paintballing like in the movie.
I know.
You can go paintballing, dude.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
That's right. That's right. I can get you out of here. How so? The key.
With the right leverage and proper application of strength, the door will lift free.
The door will lift
What is he, MacGyver now?
He is.
Yeah, he basically pulls what is known as a Patriot and MacGyver in the same movie.
Yes.
Again, the way.
As soon as he heard Turner,
that'd be short for
William.
William.
The way that he's short for William. Good strong name. No doubt named after your father. Like it's like he's basically saying, "I know Bootstrap Bill, and you look just like him. You're his son."
Yeah. I mean, we get more of that in the second movie with him and his dad.
True.
Right.
We get a little bit more of it when they steal the ship here in a moment, but
what did he say? He goes, "So the captain hooked a cannon to Bootstrap's bootstraps."
All right, we have an accord. Deal. Get me out. Quick, somebody would have heard that. Not without my fetchings. And then Dave Mattingly says he spends 8 hours a day practicing swordplay and 1 hour a day lifting self-torts. Nice one, Dave.
It's a good one. Again, just randomly more Johnny Depp performances. The Mad Hatter.
No, thank you.
I actually enjoyed the Mad Hatter. I did. I enjoyed the Mad Hatter.
Nope. Tim Burton lost his way years before that, but that is definitely one film where he lost his mind.
I enjoyed the Mad Hatter. Again, just
really? Then how come it won all the Razzies?
I love this part.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they find the book. How were they able to get under that book? Suspension of disbelief. Suspension of disbelief. And then they're walking underwater. This is either really brilliant or brilliantly mad.
I love that he just like steps in a crab trap.
He doesn't watch where he's going.
And then like the rest of the scene is him dragging this crab trap.
Yes, that's true. And everyone in the town is looking at him like, what is going on with this barrel, bro? What is happening?
He was also in Rango. Remember, he played the lead character in that.
Which I heard is a great animated film, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh God. Okay, I just came up. I came up on the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, I made the mistake of seeing that in theaters. So thanks, Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Hi,
It
Avast.
was bad.
See, he tries to act like a pirate, but Will can't pull it off.
And I love that he looks at him like, seriously?
Seriously, that's
I
the
always
best you
don't
can
say
come up
that.
with? Captain Jack Sparrow, savvy.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I forgot that he's friends with Kevin Smith. And he was in Tusk.
Oh yeah.
He was also in what was the other movie that was in that series? Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers, yeah, because that was his daughter. His daughter was in that movie.
Right. Oh, he played the wolf in Into the Woods.
Oh.
Mordecai, which is another movie that is somewhat divisive. I actually know somebody who played in that movie.
Look, they've taken the ship. Oh, look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. Will turns says they're coming. He turns around. Love that smirk.
It's like, why would you send everybody?
Oh, by the way, Dave Mattingly says that boat trick worked for Indiana Jones too.
Yeah. I mean, technically you can do that with a lot of things. I've actually tried that in a pool, but I mean, like, you can do it with a bucket. Basically, the idea is you trap the air inside
in a
of
pocket that you can
in a
breathe,
pocket,
yeah.
and you can breathe. Now, of course, you have very limited amount of time.
Boat trick for Indiana Jones, right? Because I think he did it in Last Crusade, didn't he?
Yeah.
You
can only do that for a certain amount of time because basically you're converting it to carbon dioxide, so very limited.
Yeah, that's not good.
You just have to hope.
Don't do it for too long, is what we're saying. There's a public service announcement right there.
We're to fire on no ship, sir. I'd rather see at the bottom of the ocean than in the hands of a pirate.
He's tightened the helm, sir.
They just run him over. A bonded ship!
You see something here.
Do you guys think that you're going to just stop one of the fastest ships in the fleet? No, it's not faster than the Black Pearl, but I mean, like, one of the fastest.
Well, no.
Fleet.
This ain't the Interceptor. They took the Interceptor. That's the fastest ship.
That's what we meant.
That's what I'm saying is like they think they're going to stop it with like a little rowboat.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it would go down because that looked like. Do you remember in Phil? Have you ever seen the third Porky's movie?
Yes, seen all the.
Do you remember at the end when they try to use the rudders to hit the rowboat?
Yes, yeah.
When that boat goes down, it looks like what would happen if you used a paddle boat to destroy it. It always looked weird whenever I saw it. Like, I just don't know if it would destroy that little boat like that. I don't know.
I feel like Dave is jumping 8 steps ahead of the game because now he's saying, "Stop putting holes in my ship."
Stop putting holes in my ship.
We haven't gotten to that part, dude. And then he also says he's got to be the best pirate I've ever heard of. Well, that line was said just a few moments ago, so that's true. There you go, Dave. Indeed. He was a dang pirate, a scallywag. My father was not a pirate. Put it away, son. There's no use doing that to yourself.
You didn't beat me. You ignored the rules of engagement. In a fair fight, I'd kill you. It's not intended to fight fair, is it? And then hits him with a rudder. I love it. Oh, man.
Oh, he had to step out.
All right.
I mean, he's so true with it. It's.
He's just telling him, like, because I know, like, Will's spent his entire.
He has this imaginary thought of what his dad was.
Right. Because he thought his dad was a merchant.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, pirates were merchant marines that became privateers, but I mean, so he's not wrong. His dad technically was a merchant marine.
Yeah.
They just realized that, instead of moving goods, you could just take goods from other ships.
Yeah. You can make more profit that way.
Mm-hmm. And now they're in Tortuga.
Another great set piece.
I always try to think to myself, like, where are these places in the Caribbean? Like, actually, like, where are these places actually?
Oh, yeah. Like, they just did so good with the set pieces. Like, it's just like, where is it?
Right. And again, like, the the scenes that we're seeing in Tortuga are like scenes from the ride, you know?
Oh, really? Okay. See, I never been on a ride, so it was always.
Yeah. So like a lot of this, like the guy, just dumping alcohol in his face, or the one girl that's pouring liquor in the dude's face while he's like up against the barrel, and that scene coming up, all from the ride. Giselle,
Okay.
who was that? What?
No, that one I deserve. By the way, Dave Manley goes on to say that didn't sit too well with old Stellan Skarsgård, going back to something someone said earlier. Sorry. Ryan walked the plank. No, I didn't. Yeah, Ryan left. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. No, I'm back. I just had to pay some bills, take a commercial break. Dave Manley says he was self-employed merchant marine. Albert Christian Basil from the show Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, I believe. They're filming in Johnny Depp's backyard with Tortuga. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I'm already awake.
And then Albert
That was
says,
for the smell.
don't
Right
tell
here.
Ryan what we talked about. Laugh out loud. Very funny, Albert Christian Basil. By the way, Christian Basil, it's good to see you, man. Hope everything is well in your neck of the woods. And give my best to the crew over there at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, which you can find on social media on YouTube at HWWS Web TV, and also at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS somewhere on YouTube's. Heck of a show. They got a great crew over there. And if you're into Doctor Who, if you're a Whovian, check it out. Some good content over there.
Just got constant fights going on.
Everybody's fighting, everybody's drinking, everybody's behaving negative,
Admirably.
inappropriately. But it is Tortuga. And Christian says, my best to you guys as well. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate that, man. Hope everything is well in your neck of the woods.
Oh, we're coming up on Zoe Saldana pretty soon.
A very young,
Very
young,
Zoe Saldana.
young, up and coming at the time, Zoe Saldana. Ah, Dave Manley, I feel a change in the wind, says I. Yes. And Christian Basil says, get out your power strips. Thanks for the plug. You're welcome, Christian. Hey, listen, indie supports indie. That's what we do on these shows, man. Independent content creators support other independent content creators, so you're welcome. And by the way, if you're just joining us and wondering what the heck is going on here, we're at the 53-minute and 30-second mark in the movie known as Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, for its 20th. Exactly. For its 20th anniversary spectacular, if you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service to watch the movie along with us, please do. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, in the live chat. Whether you're joining us live on the replay, don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends.
That is the child of Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Take what you want. Give nothing back. Christian Basil says, the change in the wind is breaking. Laughing emoji or smiling emoji. There you go. You're welcome.
It smells. It smells funny.
Isn't that a Pauly Shore line? I don't know. By the way, I made the mistake of watching bits and pieces of a movie called Jury Duty with Pauly Shore and Tia Career, and I'm thinking to myself, this is pathetic.
Oh, wait till you watch it all the way through.
Well, you can tell the captain I am declined to acquiesce to his request. He said you'd say that. He also said if that be the case, you'll be dining with the crew, and you'll be naked. This was
grabs
like,
his dress.
nope, not happening. I'm putting on the dress.
Fine then.
Fine then. Look at all this food. This is what we call an all-you-can-eat buffet on a pirate ship.
It's also to keep in mind that they technically can't eat. So,
Christian, I don't know if I want to put that comment up on the Titantron, buddy, but I get what you're getting at.
woo!
Jeez. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I know exactly where he's going with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see what he's saying there, Tim, in the chat? Yeah.
Good one. Real
Yeah.
good one.
That's what we call one for the ages. Dave Mattingly says, where did all that fresh food come from in this sequence? I don't know. Came from, what is it called? Disney Catering.
I need one, and the apples next. One of those next.
Okay, this is where it turns into a fetish film.
It kind of does.
Poison. There'd be no point in poison you, Missy. Jeffrey Rush is, I mean, everyone in this movie plays their character so well. And Jeffrey Rush is no exception. I mean, the guy he runs with this.
He's a great pirate.
He's fantastic.
I
he can
love
play
that
any
he's
character.
playing a very stereotypical pirate too.
You have
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea what this is, do you? This medallion. This is Aztec gold.
What about Aztecs?
Also, one of the toughest bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Barbosa?
No, the what the hell? It's like the demon spawn with all the medallions.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever
It's so
played.
long to
I don't
do
think
that
I've ever
thing.
played the video game Kingdom Hearts. Have you, Phil? I mean, you've played Kingdom Hearts, right?
I played Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
And it was mostly because I didn't have like the consoles to play Kingdom Hearts. So
Yeah.
and then it came out on Xbox and I played Kingdom Hearts 3.
I don't think I've ever played Kingdom Hearts. I mean, not to my knowledge, anyway.
The third one was fine. I still love the second one. I think that's the best.
Really?
Yeah, it has Port Tortuga world, and one of the
well,
villains is like a demon form. You have to collect all the medallions in order to beat it. Yeah.
Whoops. There we go. And I see Barbosa's explaining where they got the gold from and what exactly is wrong with it.
Food turned ash in our mouths. All the pleasurable company in the world could not slake our lust. We are cursed men, Miss Turner.
I don't see why we didn't just have Phil just quote the whole gosh darn 2.5 hour movie, because you seem to have a good handle on it, man. I mean, I've seen this movie a number of times myself, but you seem to have it down to almost to a science. Isn't that a capuchin monkey like the one they had in the Night in the Museum series?
That is a capuchin.
It is. There you go. See, I was right. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Christian Basil has an interesting thought on this matter here in the movies. He says, side question though, should they continue the Pirates of the Caribbean series, or should they reboot or continue without Johnny Depp's character?
No, I mean, you know what? I feel like Jack Sparrow made the series. Without Jack Sparrow, I don't know how into it I'll continue to be. You know, like he's partially the reason that I continue to watch these movies.
But I mean, how many more stories can you tell with it, though? That's the thing, too.
I mean, there's a lot of stories that you can still tell out of that like where you can integrate things that happen in the Caribbean with specifically with pirates that actually existed.
All right, so for me, if you're gonna continue it, I say it's best to do it without Johnny, because he's had 5 movies. It's over. It's done. Let him go. Let him move on to something else. And plus, I want to see some new stories with new pirates, new characters. I want to see some new, young, up-and-coming actors getting their shot like Keira Knightley did. A little bit to an extent like Orlando. Orlando Bloom was already a name up to this point in 2003, right, because you had the Lord of the Rings franchise coming out at the time in 2001, 2002, and 2003, respectively. So for some reason, this movie did make a name for certain actors in this movie, but at the same time, I want to see new actors. I want to see some fresh faces. So if you're going to continue the franchise, do it, but do it with new actors playing different characters who have no relation to the Turners, to the Barbosas, to the Sparrows, like none of that. Just keep it fresh. Keep it as a straight up pirate movie. You can make it a treasure hunter movie. You can make it someone trying to find their missing brother or something like that or whatever. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do with pirates that have nothing to do with Jack Sparrow. There's a million things you can do. So
I like the idea of, like, it doesn't have to center around Jack Sparrow, but I like the idea of having Jack Sparrow just kind of be like a cameo character.
I mean, yeah, I guess you best start believing in ghost stories.
Kind of like Mark Hamill towards
You're
the
in
Star
one.
Wars.
That reveal in this movie in the theater, we were losing our minds. We were like, "Whoa, this is great!" Like this.
And then he drinks the rum, and it just like goes through his body.
Yeah, when you see what the curse does to these pirates, and the visual effects are so good.
Get back to work.
What are you looking at? Back to work. Yeah, it's It's good stuff. But yeah, I would say make it a fresh movie and bring in new characters, bring in new actors, bring in new actresses. I would love
I
to
mean,
see that.
they could do that. It's just you have to have a good story. And it's
Yeah,
hard in
it depends
Hollywood
on the
nowadays
story,
to
but at
have
the
a
same
good
time,
story.
just make something different. Just make something a little different in the Pirates realm. And there are plenty of legends that you can use to center the movie around. There are plenty of treasure legends that you can use.
Right.
You know, that's just my what is it? That's just my 2 cents. Christian Basil says Kurtzman Pirates. Alex Kurtzman, Roberta Orci. Is that what you're getting at, Christian? I'm not sure. Dave Manley says I'd like to see a spin-off series, Pirates of Shanghai.
That would be dope. I actually think that would be cool.
I'd be down for something like that. And then Christian goes on to say, you want to make it like Trail of the Pink Panther? I wouldn't say that. I'm not going that far. Dave Mattingly says, Mr. Cotton's parrot.
Same question. When in the sales?
Most likely we figure that means yes. There, he said yes. Satisfied.
Well, you proved them mad. Here it is right here.
Big
Zoe
reveal.
Saldana, right at the end.
That's a very young, barely recognizable, almost unrecognizable Zoe Saldana.
Anna Maria.
I take it you didn't deserve. No, that one I deserved. You stole my boat. Oh, borrowed without permission. But you didn't. So before she was Gamora, before she was in the land of Pandora on Avatar, she was a pirate.
And before, I think this was before The Losers too.
Yeah, and before Columbiana. Before Columbiana. Do you remember that movie?
Columbiana, she was already on the come up when she did Columbiana.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying this movie takes place before.
Yeah. But this is definitely before The Losers too, because The Losers was like, I think that's one of her first comic appearances.
2010.
Yeah.
Losers was 2010. Columbiana was like right after that, wasn't it? Like 2011.
That's one I wish they had a second. Losers.
Columbiana.
The Losers did a pretty good job.
Dude, The Losers should have had a sequel.
Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't.
Well, it bombed, I think, financially, didn't it?
Like in the angle of the dangle?
I think. I don't know. Never mind. The Losers definitely left the door wide open for sequels, and then the other film I thought was going to get a sequel was Columbiana.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen a sequel to that. I like female assassin movies. I would have been down for that. Or she was a mercenary, I think. But still, I would have watched that. By the way, I don't know if they're going to move forward with this or not, and I don't think Zoe Saldana is involved with the making of this movie at all. But weren't they supposed to make a female version of the Expendables called Expendables at one point?
I don't know.
That was talked about, but I don't know if it's.
And now they're coming out with Expendables 4 with a new cast of characters.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the new one doesn't look very good.
Well, all the original Expendables are what, in their 80s?
Yeah, they're all retired. They're retired. But I will
they're
say,
RED, retired and extremely.
That's very true, Phil. That's extremely true. By the way,
first Red's good. Second Red, it's okay.
I didn't see Red 2. Was there a Red 3?
No, there was only 2.
Okay, I thought there was. Never mind. Anyway, Red 2 was. I don't think I ever saw it, but I will say the Expendables 2 was great. I loved the Expendables 2. Didn't like the Expendables first one was but the second one was fantastic. I didn't see Expendables 3 yet. That's just my opinion. And Dave Manley goes on to say, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? I understood that reference, Dave Manley. Christian Basil says, take a shot. Every time the panel says a very young ... Yeah, that would be a good drinking game right there. Thanks for bringing that up, Christian. In the chat, by the way. That was Christian saying in the chat. And we are currently at the 1 hour and 5 minute mark of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Feel free to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service. Watch the movie along with us. Share your thoughts, positive, negative, somewhere in between about this movie or the sequels or anything else that has to deal with pirates in the comments, in the live chat. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. By the way, when it came to pirates before this movie came out, my only experience with seeing pirates in movies was One-Eyed Willie and the Goonies.
Yeah.
And also I think it was Treasure Island from Disney, the original 1960s, 1970s Treasure Island.
And then they had Muppet Treasure Island too.
Yes, and Muppet Treasure Island was another one. So I've seen 4. I saw 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but it wasn't from Walt Disney Pictures. It was from Crayola Kids Adventures. Yeah, there was a VHS series called Crayola Kids Adventures on VHS where they adapted classic stories such as Gulliver's Travels, such as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and a few others. You can Google it. It's real. Oh, it's real. It's what? This is real. So 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, saw that. That was it. And then I think I may have seen Moby Dick, but that really wasn't about pirates. That was just about merchant sailors. So my only experience was the three or four pirate movies, and that was it before Pirates of the Caribbean came out. And then I saw this movie, and I'm like, dude, we need more pirate movies. And then they ruined it with the sequels. So nice job, Disney. Nice job.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
No, Pirates 4 is good, but 2, 3, and 5 can take a jump off a cliff, but that's just my opinion.
See, I loved 1, 2, 3, and then the rest of it's like, we don't need it.
I didn't even bother seeing Dead Man Tell No Tales. I was so checked out. You have that pistol starting to become friendly. Sorry, Mr. Gibbs is telling the story of how Jack escaped from the godforsaken island.
I love this. She goes, "Where did he get the rope? My back hair."
You got it from hair off my. And then Jack overhears them and he says, "Hair, human hair, from my back."
From my back. You see, you waited out into the shallows and waited 3 days and 3 nights till all manner of sea creatures came accustomed to his presence. I have the subtitles on, man. I'm just telling you.
Okay, so that's why you're able to quote this whole man. This whole time, I'm thinking, does he have this movie down to a science?
It wrote a couple of sea turtles. I sea turtle.
I sea turtles.
What did he use for rope?
Human hair.
Human hair.
Off my back. Maybe I should turn the subtitles on so I can quote this along with you, because clearly you're beating me to the punch here, man. Let me see if I can. Where is it? Okay, let's see if this works. All my settings. Let me see if this works. Okay, it's working. We're good. I can use it now.
Keep to the code. The code.
The code. Keep to the code. Keira Knightley looks beautiful in every scene.
Yes, she does.
I don't care how she or what she's wearing. Like, she looks gorgeous.
And I honestly think she's hotter in this movie than she was in any of the other ones. Like, I don't know what it is about like the other movies where like it's like, yeah, she's still pretty hot, but like this movie in particular.
Yeah. 100%.
Like,
and if you see the movie Princess of Thieves from 2001 that she was the lead actress in, she plays Robin Hood's daughter. She was pretty beautiful in that too, even though her hair was it was shortened and it was brown. It wasn't blonde like it is in this. But she looked good with the brown hair. You could buy an eye that fits, not made of glass. This one has splinter. It's terrible. Stop rubbing it.
They're so caring of each other. And then the yeoman walks by and he's like, God, you idiots.
It's great, isn't it?
They're like a pirate version of Broken Skull. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
They are 100%. They're Broken Skull.
It's funny you bring that up because we are going to be celebrating one of the most popular franchises in all of television history. Power Rangers turns 30 on August the 28th, 2023. And guess what? We're going to be live right here on this very channel. And we are going to be doing a very special celebration with tons of special guests. And we're going to be sharing our fondest memories of that series, whether it be from the very beginning or some of the later seasons or somewhere in between. We're going to be talking about our favorite collectibles, some of our favorite characters, some of our favorite moments, which I know Tim has 50,000 toys, which I'm so jealous of. But we're going to talk about all that on August 28th, next month, at the end of next month. And we've already put up the links. It's all over our social media, so check it out, bookmark that, click to be notified, because let me tell you something. These celebrations that we do for movies are fantastic, but this one on August 28th is going to be more phenomenal. See what I did there? It's going to be off the Shazam. So make sure you bookmark that. And yes, Tim, I hope you're going to be there, man.
I would love it.
Phil, if you want to show up and dive into some Power Rangers, you're more than welcome to, too, if you were a fan back in the heyday.
Oh, I definitely was. We've interviewed a couple of Power Rangers as far as at like live events and stuff like that. So
that's true. Yes, you're invited. Everyone who's been on these panels before, you're cordially invited to be a part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we got some special videos we're going to be playing that night too. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. We got so many incredible events planned for the next several months. I'm just overjoyed. I can't wait for you who's watching or listening to this right now to join us on our future events, as well as this one too. So.
It's funny, like, so they're showing that the Aztec gold was from Hernan Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
the man that my wife tells me that when she looks at old pictures of, I look like, and I'm like, don't tell me I look like the conqueror. Sorry, I cussed there. Like, don't tell me that I look like the conqueror of my people. Come on, man.
That's interesting. Dave Manley goes on to say other good pirate films are the following: The Princess Bride. I don't think that's really. That's not really
a pirate movie. It is a pirate movie. The Dread Pirate Roberts. He is a pirate.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just don't really think of it as a pirate movie. It's more of a fantasy adventure film to me. But The Seven Voyages of Sinbad, I have not seen that. And are you talking about The Phantom with Billy Zane there, Dave? Because I don't know if I would consider that an exact. I mean, there are pirates in it, yes, but it's not exactly a pirate movie. But there are pirates in it. I'm just saying. And then Christian Basil goes on to say Pirates of the Caribbean Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, that's what they should have done for the sequel, but they didn't. And then he says, my shameless plug, we've interviewed Kevin McNally of Pirates of the Caribbean on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, as he was on Doctor Who not once, but twice, both in the classic version and the new version. That's pretty cool, Christian, that you've had a chance to interview Kevin McNally, who plays Mr. Gibbs here in the Pirates series. That's cool. We'll have to get him on And I Quote at some point.
I would love
Kevin
to have
McNally would be a good trip, man.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on Distance Nerding.
Mm-hmm. Dave Manley refers to, yes, the Phantom of Billy Zane devoted his life to combating. Yeah, that's true. He devoted his life to combating piracy and greed. You're absolutely right, David. It's a pirate movie. They spill her blood on the medallion. And they drop the medallion slow-mo into the chest. And they take this very long pause.
I don't feel no different. And then shoots him in the chest.
But Will Turner...
You shot me!
Will Turner is on a mission to save his girlfriend, so now he's going behind Jack's back as he knocks Jack out with the oar there. What happened? Did it work? I feel no different. How did we tell? You shot me. You're not dead. No. Hey, you shot me. It didn't work. Your father. You made your father. What was his name? What was his name?
Was it not William Turner?
Where's this child that sailed from England? Oh, 8 years ago was the time jump. Okay. 8 years ago was the time jump, fellas.
Okay, so
they were 10, and I guess now they're 18, or they were 12, and now they're 20. One or the other.
Yeah.
You brought us the wrong person. Dave Manley says, waste not, want not. Yeah, that's true. By the way, Phil, we didn't bring this up earlier, but in the movie where Jack looks at him and says, how far are you willing to go to save this woman? I'd die for her. Oh, good. No worries then. Because they're likely going to die. So.
It was you who said bootstrap Bill to the depths.
Yeah, that's right. And it's you brought us here in the first place. By the way, this kind of reminds me of the scene in Treasure Island where they're going to have a mutiny against Long John Silver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they're very good. There's some nods and winks to previous pirate movies.
Just in case.
Just in case. It spilled all her blood. The medallion. She's taking it. Dave Manley says she's safe, just like I promised. She's all set to marry Norrington, just like she promised. And you get to die for her, just like you promised. So we're all men of our word, really. Except for, of course, Elizabeth, who is, in fact,
not a man.
Woman. Dave, we haven't gotten there yet, man. Jeez.
To the boats. Oh, I'm sorry. That's your line. Gents,
you
take a walk.
You're supposed to be dead. Am I not? Jack Sparrow acting all confused. Am I not?
And he just walks away.
He just walks away. Paul. Parsley.
Parsley.
That's the one.
Partner.
Parlay.
Parlay. That's right. That's the one. Parlay.
Parlay. Whoever Muttonhead thought that would be the
That would be the French.
It's great, isn't it? Oh my gosh, this movie has so many good lines, so many good pieces of dialogue. Oh no, pirates! Not more pirates! Welcome aboard, Miss Elizabeth. Mr. Gibbs. Hey, where be Jack? Jack Sparrow. You fell behind. Dave Manley says necktie, nectar, nickel, something or other. I don't know. In the next movie, the pirates are steering their boats with a cordless Xbox controller.
Oh my God. That's a Titanic reference. Okay, that's
Jeez.
a reference to too soon, dude. Too soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the rich dudes that died in the
submersible.
When you removed me on that godforsaken island, you forgot one very important thing.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Well, I won't be making that mistake again. Gents, you all remember Captain Jack Sparrow.
Kill him.
The girl's blood didn't work, did it? Hold your and then he's upset. You know whose blood we need. I know whose blood you need. Johnny Depp plays this so well, and he got an Oscar nomination for this movie.
Did he get an Oscar nomination for this?
He did. He got an Oscar nod for this very movie.
Too bad he didn't win it.
I know. I would have given it to him, by the way.
Yeah, I mean the character that he plays in this. I mean, it's almost like you don't know who Johnny Depp really is because he
disappears into this role.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't. I couldn't tell it was Johnny Depp the whole movie.
Like, how do you not get an Oscar for that for melting into a character like that?
I think a lot of his characters he melts into, like Fear and Loathing, he melted into that character.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have given him the Oscar. What is it, the Oscar for this movie? But I will say, I think they do Best Ensemble Cast at the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild, way back when. In 2003, I would have given Best Ensemble Cast award to this movie for Pirates of the Caribbean because everyone played their roles brilliantly. Everyone did, not just Johnny.
I love that Orlando Bloom is like, I'm gonna touch a booby.
Finally.
And she's like, no, Pirate Gold. And he's like, hands on the boob. And he's like, oh, Pirate Gold. Okay.
It was a gift from my father. He sent it to me. By the way, gee whiz, Christian Bale goes on to say there are times I don't think he's acting. I truly think that's who he is for real.
I know, right?
I mean, he did dress up as Sparrow and visited children's hospitals to cancer wards.
Well, I mean,
there are a lot of actors that do that, though. I mean, like,
true,
you know,
he wasn't the first, he wasn't the last.
Does that.
Johnny has done that a couple of times where he's visiting people in the hospital as Jack Sparrow, and he's still.
Well, I think he did that in Disney World or Disneyland.
He did it at Disney. I think he did it at Disney World in Florida. I think. Yeah. Have you remember that? There was footage of him as Sparrow at the ride.
Yeah.
And I thought that is so freaking brilliant. Like,
I thought the coolest thing they did with like promotion like that at Disney World, they did a poster for Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And it was Johnny Depp like in the poster, but he was actually on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So people would come up and be like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," and he would just start talking to them, and people thought he would scare people, but then they would think that it was like, oh, pre-recorded, and then he would actually have conversations with people as the Mad Hatter, and I thought that was like one of the coolest things Disney did. That and the they put a talking collar on a lab and set it loose in a park, and it was the actor who played Doug.
Oh, geez.
So the dog's running around the park and going, "Hi there, my name's Doug," right? And like people were just like, "Oh my god, it's really Doug."
There you go. And Dave Manley goes on to say Depp has 3 Oscar nominations to his resume: Pirates of the Caribbean, Finding Neverland, which Finding Neverland is a really good film if you haven't seen it.
Also really good, right?
And Sweeney Todd. He got a nomination for Sweeney Todd. Oh, okay. I can see why he would get one for Sweeney Todd because that's a effed up
But
character.
again, but he melted into the character.
He
It's what
did,
Johnny Depp
yeah.
does.
It's what he does. It's what he does. That's why he's so good at what he does as an actor.
Mhm.
I'm having a thought here, Barbosa.
I
Getting
think
all
he
up in his
actually
face
brought
with the
some of
telescope. I
some of the
negotiate the return of
characters
human
on
diet.
Death trial.
Yeah, man, what a mess that was.
We'll tell you.
What a
That's
mess.
the attitude that you lost to the Pearl, Jack. People are easy
him in the
to
brig.
dead.
Lock him in the brig.
Stop putting holes in my ship.
Which we are going to get to a little bit later on in this presentation of the movie. They're not going to do it, but what if they made a new Pirates movie and Zoe Saldana's the lead?
That would be dope too.
She's not going to do
The
it.
Interceptor is the fastest ship in the fleet. We'll tell them that when they catch up to us.
When they've caught us. We're showering the draft, right? Aye. Can't we lose him amongst those shoals? We don't have to outrun him long enough, just long enough. Lighten the ship, stem the... So basically their weapons, they get rid of all their weapons, because they need them, but they think, well, if we lighten the load, we're not going to need them, right? Well, no, you are going to need them, because how are you going to defend yourself? Duh.
Right.
And then Christian Basil says, Pirates 5, The Search for More Money. I understood that reference, Christian.
Wouldn't it be Pirates 6? Don't they already have 5 movies?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They have 5
they're-
movies. So it would be Pirates 6. But at the same time, if you want to connect it to the other movies, Zoe Saldana as the lead wouldn't be a bad sell.
Yeah, and I mean Zoe Saldana is
She
amazing to
has the
begin with.
time, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
Have
with
they
the yard
filmed
sale
all
that they
40
want to have? They could
have
sell
they
off
filmed
Pirates.
all 40 sequels to Avatar already?
Yeah, yes, they have.
Okay, so if her filming's done, she's got time.
So there's supposed to be 7 movies altogether,
Oh, that's terrible.
and
I
she.
thought they were shooting for 6.
No.
I thought they had like the plan was for because they have dates for all 7 of them.
Oh, that's terrible.
And they filmed 2 and 3 together.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
That was before during the after the lockdown. Before during the lockdown, they filmed some of it.
Yeah.
Then they finished it, and then they put the release dates out, and now they're switching the release date. Haven't they switched the release dates for those sequels like 50 times already?
Something like that.
They've done it so many times. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
recently they switched a lot of their.
Well,
slate.
Warner Brothers is shifting their release dates too because of the strikes that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Which is going to happen with all studios, not just one.
Oh yeah.
So, and then Christian Basil says, I do like the idea of them having Karen Gillan, which was the plan for a new Pirates movie.
That's
I mean,
right.
I'd be curious to see Karen Gillan lead a pirate movie. I'd be curious. She's cool as Nebula. I didn't really care much of her work on Doctor Who because I'm not a Whovian and it didn't work for me. But she can do it.
I liked her working Jumanji.
I haven't seen the Jumanji sequel, so I can't comment.
Yeah,
but,
she's pretty good in the Jumanji movies.
So I've been told. But yeah, she can lead a pirate. Why don't you know what? Just put Karen Gillan and Zoe Saldana in the new Pirates movie. Just do it that way.
Yeah.
Just have both of them in there. You have 2 Marvel.
They already have really good chemistry. Like it would make sense.
They've been working together all the movies in the Guardians of the Galaxy and the MCU. Just put them together in a Pirates movie. It's going to work. It'll be fine. And I wouldn't mind seeing 2 women lead a film like that. That is not a bad sell.
Right.
That would definitely sell a lot of tickets.
The thing is like for a lot of the angry males out there,
which I don't understand.
Like because a lot of them are upset that like, oh, they want to do a women's pirates movie. You guys do understand that some of the most prolific pirates in real life were women.
And I don't have a problem with that. So give them the movie. I'll watch it either way. So rock the starboard, hard up hard.
I don't remember her name, but in real life there was a pirate that Blackbeard was deathly afraid of.
Ooh, that's a good question. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name, but yeah, he was like, he did not want to mess with her because he ran into her once and she nearly killed him.
Okay,
and he never wanted to see her again. I'm trying to remember her name. I remember she was out in North Carolina.
Dude, bring that story into the movie and have Ian McShane come back as Blackbeard.
Right.
By the way, Ian McShane's a great actor anyway. Just have him back.
Right.
Stop blowing holes in my ship.
Stop blowing holes in my ship.
We got to it, Dave. You're welcome, buddy. And let's see here. Dave Mattingly goes on to say, Karen Gillan was fun in the movie Gunpowder Milkshake.
I never saw that movie. I heard it was good, but I never had a chance to watch it.
By the way, his glass eye just came out of his eye again.
Oh, it was a wooden eye, remember?
It was because, well, yes, and it was also because of a fork. they're using silverware as cannon fodder. Anyone
Oh,
else?
you gotta use what you can use.
Well, because he said because they threw over all the shots, so he said use broken
Use
glass.
whatever's left.
Yeah, he said use broken glass and nails.
And look, he doesn't even need to skate the brig. The brig's open. And let's see. Dave Mattingly says the pirate gal you're thinking of might have been Anne Bonny.
Yes, it was Anne Bonny.
Okay, put that in the next Pirates movie. Have Karen Gillan, Zoe Saldana lead the charge, and then have Ian McShane in it because he plays an integral part.
Yeah.
Just bring all three of them in.
Like that says a lot. Where like Blackbeard is the pirate that everybody knows, but like the name that everyone knows, right? Like regardless of Pirates of the Caribbean or anything, but everyone knows that name. Like everybody knows Blackbeard the pirate, right?
Yeah. And Ian McShane's a great freaking actor.
Right. But Anne Bonny scared the living crap out of him.
All right. Well, then just use that for Pirates Part 6, or just
reboot
it. Just call it Pirates of the Caribbean. The new what is it? The Curse or the Legend of Anne Bonny or something. I don't know. Is it the Legend of Anne Bonny or the Curse or the?
There was a legend about Anne Bonny that she would go into battle topless and it would freak guys out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if they're going to put that part of it.
I'm sure they wouldn't do that in one of these movies, but I mean, like, there's like this whole story about how she would do that, and it was like for her, it was an empowerment thing. Like she has like journals about this stuff.
Maybe they should do this movie at a different studio if you want to get the full. The full version of the Legend of Anne Bonny. You might want to take this movie to a different studio and not have it be distributed by Disney. I mean, what's a studio that would do? I mean, Lionsgate could do it because they're doing all the John Wick movies. So, give it to Lionsgate. They can do a Pirates movie.
Hold on, you got to put what Dave just said. You have to put what Dave just said on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Let's see here. He says, Dave Manley says, Anne Bonny. Now that's what I call pirates. I'm surprised Tim didn't break out laughing.
Oh, sorry. I was watching that.
No, it's good, but did you see what Dave said? He says, Anne Bonny, the Legend of Anne Bonny. Now that's what I call pirate chess. See what he did there?
I can see Disney doing it.
No, Disney's not going to do it, but
no. If anything, you know what?
Put it on a Disney Plus service for adults.
Yeah, right. Put it on FXX.
Yeah, you know what studio would do that is Pornhub. There you go.
Hey, okay. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but
they have more successes than Disney right now.
Oh my
God, we don't have to talk about that either. But I will say, if you're just joining us for the appropriateness of the segment here, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. We are at the 1 hour and 29-minute mark here in the film. If you're just joining us, feel free to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service. If this is your first time here, welcome. Enjoy the witty banter between myself and our panelists. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And let us know any and all your thoughts about the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise in the comment section below, in the live chat. We would love to hear from you. That is what we love. And that is one of the things we enjoy most about doing these special presentations. But where be dear William? Well, Elizabeth. Dave, you're Anne Bonny, the pirate's booty. Oh my God!
Brought to you by Brazzers.
By Dave. Stop it. But Dave Mattingly just made a comment. We'll leave it at that. Anywho, I don't know why.
Special collector's edition with 25 minutes of extra features.
Thank you, Jack. You're welcome. We named the monkey Jack.
We named the monkey Jack.
And then Jack's like, gents, our hope is restored. The expressions on this character's face is so good. Jack Sparrow knows what he's doing. I mean, Johnny Depp is brilliant in this role. I mean, let's be honest, but still, I digress. Boy, they are going to set this ship to explode. I'm just saying. We're mentioning this stuff in the comments, and real quick, because I don't want to get too off the beaten path. I heard a song a few days ago that I haven't heard in a long time. Does anyone remember? I believe it's called "I Like So and So and I Cannot Lie" by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I like
I
big
like
butts,
big
cannot
butts and
lie.
I
Yes.
cannot lie.
LA
The
face
other
with a
brothers
Oakland booty.
That
I mean,
when a
Phil,
girl
you're in
walks in-
California, so
I mean, he's from Oakland, man. So that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.
I mean, you know a thing or two because you've lived in California a time or
Right.
two.
Brought to you by Vivid Entertainment.
Hey. Please, no more of those studios, no more of that content, because Will Turner just escaped from the depths of death, and he says, "What's in your head, boy?"
I think
She
that
goes
was in their
straight.
version of Pirates too. I can't remember.
You've only got one shot, and we can't die. Don't do anything stupid.
That was definitely in their version.
You can't, but I can. Like that. Who are you? No one. No
Like,
one.
don't do
A
anything
distant cousin of a
stupid.
distant cousin, my aunt's nephew. Lovely singing voice. He's a eunuch.
He's a eunuch.
My name is Will Turner. My father was Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Idiot.
His blood runs in my veins. He's a spitting image of our Bootstrap Bill. He's come back to haunt us.
Jackson's like, why do I try?
I'll pull this trigger, be lost to Davy Jones' locker, which we find out more about in Pirates 2, even though the sequels never happened. Yes, we know that one. Anything else? And the crew. The crew are not to be harmed. Agreed. God, Jeffrey Russ is so good. Dave and your interesting comments in the chat. We're just going to leave it at that. Thank you, Dave Mattingly.
What he said?
He's he's saying something that we're not going to show up here on the.
Oh God, that is the greatest thing ever. Dave Mattingly, I feel sorry for your brother.
Yeah, honestly. And then Dave Mattingly goes on to say, "It was you who neglected to specify when or where," referring to Captain Barbossa. That's what we're getting at. Thank you, Dave. I'll be having that dress back, Missy. I always liked you. Walk. You know, goes with your black heart. You know, I would have liked someone to have come down on a rope and say, "Hey,
It's
you
still warm." I
guys."
know, right? It's still warm.
Hey, you guys. Chunk. No.
Baby Ruth?
Captain Chunk.
Too long.
It's a good thing I have the Goonies on. By the way, does anyone have? I know some people have this, but I actually own the Goonies on Blu-ray Steelbook.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Dude, you know where I got that? Got it at Walmart for $10.
Nice.
So if anyone's looking for the Steelbook, if they still sell those there, which I don't think they don't sell too many Steelbooks now. They only sell the Disney 100th anniversary celebration Steelbooks at your local Walmart. # not a sponsor of this show. Feel free to look for the Steelbook of the Goonies because that is something that everyone should own. I know it's on streaming, but you got to have that on Blu-ray. I have it on Blu-ray. There's a lot of things I've started to collect on Steelbook lately, and I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun collecting Steelbooks.
Werby Jock's pistol.
A gentleman would give a gentleman a pistol. You could be the gentleman to shoot the lady and starve to death yourself.
He's like, shit.
I better go get my stuff. Johnny Depp's a good swimmer. Or maybe, do you think it was Johnny Depp doing the
His
swimming?
stunt diver is a good swimmer. His stunt double was a good swimmer.
Okay. It is a nice island, though, to be stranded on.
And the fact that it's a rum.
It's a rum island filled with trading routes. Yeah. You were marooned on this island before. We can escape in the same way. To what point and purpose, young Missy? The Black Pearl is gone. Unless you have a lot of sails hidden in that bodice. Unlikely. Young Mr. Turner will be dead long before you can reach him. Unless you got sails and a ship hidden in that bodice.
Why is the rum always gone?
Dave Manley says, why is the rum always gone? It isn't gone yet, Dave, but we're getting to that point, brother.
It's a vile drink.
Last time I was here, a grand total of 3 days. All right? Last time, the rum runners used this island on a cachet. They came by and I was able to bar the passage off. From the looks of things, they've long been out of business. Probably because of your bloody friend Norrington to thank for that. Dave, we haven't gotten there yet, man, but we're getting close. Welcome to the Caribbean, love. We're devils, we're black sheep, we're really bad eggs. Drink up, be hearties, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Oh,
I love this song.
Really bad eggs. Ooh. When I get the pearl back. I love this song. I'll teach it to the crew, and then we'll sing it all the time. Dave Manley just said that in the chat. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it, man. Not just the Spanish main, though. The entire ocean. The entire world. Wherever we want to go, we go. It's not just a keel and a hull and decks and sails.
That's what a ship
is.
What a ship needs.
What the Black Pearl really is freedom. Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate. Which is said earlier on in the movie, which is a very good line. There he is. But the company is infinitely better than the last time. And the scenery is definitely improved, love. We've had enough rum for love for that kind of talk. I know exactly what you mean, love. Mustache twirling. To freedom, to the pearl. To the Black Pearl. Cheers, love.
And he just downs all the rum right here.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't need to. She's faking him out because she knows what she's going to do with the rum and everything else that's in the supply closet. Or should I say the hull of the island, I should say. No! No! No, not good. Stop. No. Not good. What are you doing? Why is the rum gone? One, because it's a vile drink that turns even the most respectable men into complete scoundrels. Two, that signal's over 1,000 feet high. The entire Royal Navy's out looking for me. Do you really think there's the slightest chance they won't see it? Why is the rum gone? Dude, he wants to kill her so bad.
Yeah, he does.
Like, you're destroyed by rum. Why is the rum gone?
He's thinking about it so hard. Like
He thought about it. He's like, I've got one bullet. I want to kill Captain Barbosa, but I swear to God, I'm going to kill this woman. She's never going to let me hear the end of it.
There'll be absolutely no living with her after this. Dave Manley just said in the chat, and that's where we are in the movie. For those of you just joining us, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of one of the greatest action-adventure movies of all time, known as Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, directed by Gore Verbinski and starring Johnny Depp and company, produced by the one and only Jerry Bruckheimer. We're at the 1 hour and 40-minute mark in the movie, so if you're just joining us and want to watch the movie along with us, please do on a physical media or a streaming service. If you have any thoughts on this movie, positive, negative, or somewhere in between, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And we thank you so, so much for being with us on this really funny off the beaten path celebration of Pirates of the Caribbean with my panelists who are just crazy to boot. They're almost as crazy as me, but not quite. Tim and Phil. So thanks for joining us, panelists, and thank you for joining us in the chat. Lovely audience. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know, you've been on my show now, so you know that I am the most off the wall person you know. I just don't do it on your show.
Exactly. You just don't do it on my show. We do it on your show because I've been on your show once, and let me tell you, that was an interesting experience. You know, Phil, sharing your adventures is an interesting experience. So, Phil, feel free to invite me back anytime.
You're invited anytime you want to come on, man.
All right.
The only issue is our show runs late for you, man.
Extremely late for those of us on the East Coast. Yes.
Yeah, because I
think it's at like what 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock our time.
Yeah, so I get tired like towards 10:30. So
yeah, but I mean, if you can,
very good show.
Thank you, I appreciate it, man. Just if you're anytime you're up for it, man, you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna be up late anyways. It's a Thursday night for some reason. Hey, you're
I'm
free
gonna
to come
text
on
Phil.
anytime you want. Yeah, you're free to come on anytime you want, man.
Well, that's good to know because Tim and I are gonna text you, and we'll probably show. Tim, do you want to be on the show? You want to have a blast with Phil and his friends?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. It might be fun. And
Tim, I remember seeing the one with when Ryan was on there because it popped up on my feed. I was like, oh, I remember Phil. I did a couple of these movie things with him. That was the first episode I watched.
It was pretty wild. Yeah. It was pretty wild. We had some interesting characters on that show.
The last couple episodes of the build specifically, man, it's been getting pretty wild to the point where Ryan, I think you would just be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, there's only so much craziness I can take. So
let's just.
Would I be like, I'm home?
Tim's like at home.
Might, man. Let's just put it here. I'm gonna try and say this the nicest way that I can.
Yeah.
One of the jokes were about how do I word this where it's like not it was women's toys, but in regards to Superman and Kryptonite.
Got it. All right. Enough said. But Tim, if you wish to be on,
called it 50 Shades of Superman.
50 Shades of whatever. Tim, if you want to be on an episode, just text Phil and he'll give you the details. It's on Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So.
Oh God. Yes.
We're not going to. I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But what I will say is that Dave Mattingly says favorite line in the movie. He says that's got to be the worst pirate I've ever heard of. That's his favorite line in this movie. So Phil, what is your favorite line in this movie?
Oh my God. You know what? Actually, it's earlier on in the movie, and it's just because it's one of those lines that just sticks in my head, and it's when the reveal that they're like eternal comes up, and he says, "You best believe in fairy tales, Miss Turner.
Ghost story.
You're in one."
Yeah. That was that's a great.
Probably one of my favorite lines in that entire movie, in this entire movie.
What do you think, Tim? Favorite line from this movie, Pirates of the Caribbean?
It's not a line. It's when Elizabeth burns all the rum and he wants to shoot her. He's thinking about it too. He's just like, and then just walks away.
Well, you can put it that way. That's Dave Mattingly. Let's see here. Where was his quote again? He says his favorite is that's got to be the worst part ever. Favorite line for me? Gosh almighty, there's so many good ones. Favorite line? Favorite line. I would say gosh, there's so many. That's the problem. I would say one of my favorite lines is when he says, "You need to find yourself a go, mate. Like you spend too much time practicing with these swords." So they're about to cut Will Turner, and Jack says, "Well, you don't want to be the death of him, do you?" "No, I really think I do. Your funeral." See, he always has a trick up his sleeve.
Well, like he's always a step ahead of everybody. Like that's the whole thing about Jack is that he's always like at least 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone else.
I mean, he has the crazed persona, but yeah, he's a master chess player when it comes to strategy.
Right. All hands to the boats. Okay, that's right. You can do it. Gents, take a walk.
Speaking of that, Ryan's gone.
Ryan's gone, so now we're going to start making inappropriate jokes and ruin nerd culture altogether. Let's go. No kidding. I would not do that to him. I that's the thing.
I
Is
mean, he's got a point.
Order your men to ride to the Dauntless. Do what they do best. Robert, your uncle, Fanny Jean, you have 2 ships.
I mean, he's just a genius dealer. He knows how to play people.
And that's the thing is that so earlier on, right? Like Will starts kind of ruining everything, and he's like, "There's a plan here, and you're ruining the plan."
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole reason that I'm doing this, and it's kind of like nobody else ever could. I mean, part of the problem is he doesn't tell people what his plan is, so they ruin everything. But I mean, there's a couple times in the next couple movies where he does the same thing, where he's got this plan, somebody ruins something, and he's just like, I had a plan here, and he messed everything up.
Especially the second one, because that happens a lot.
Oh yeah, Lancelot in the first Kingsman is Commodore Norrington.
Yep. Yeah. Those were. I mean, the third one was but that was a good series of Kingsman.
I like Davy Jones, and I think part of it was because. Oh, here's the joke right here. All hands to the boats. Apologies. You give the oldest. Take a walk. But I like the way that Bill Nighy just kind of plays that character.
Oh, Davy Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. These movies always had very good villains, from Barbossa to Davy Jones to what was he in the third movie?
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
I actually liked.
I can't think of him in the third movie.
Oh wow! I didn't know this. Dave Mattingly goes on to say it was a long while before I realized that Lancelot in the first Kingsman film was Commodore Norrington.
Yeah, we were talking about that a second ago.
Oh geez, yeah. I'm sorry, I did not realize that. And then Jack had a great plan for turning the boat upside down in movie 3.
Yeah, I've got a job.
Yeah. I've got a George.
Okay, which is a scene that never happened because those movies don't exist.
Right, the sequels didn't happen. I mean, I can watch Pirates 4 once in a blue moon, but other than that, there's really no sequels. This is the true Pirates movie. This one.
Now, Pirates 4, that was the
reimagining
of Elizabeth and Will characters, right?
Well, they weren't in that.
The two that acted like Will and.
It was Ian McShane and Penelope Cruz were added to the cast.
Right.
So it was the fifth one that had those two.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The fourth one was a different cast because basically, to me, Pirates 4 was like a soft reboot because they took out Keira Knightley, they took out
Orlando Bloom,
Will Turner, Bloom, and a few other cast.
Well, they went away from that storyline because it was kind of
wrapped up. They were just done, and they rebooted it with Blackbeard and his daughter, played by the very beautiful Penelope Cruz.
Right, but I mean, you can't.
Is that the one with the siren scene too?
You can't really do much when at this point Will Turner has become Davy Jones. So it's just kind of like, he's now the captain of the Flying Dutchman. So it's just kind of like, how do you continue that story? You really can't.
Gents, take a walk. the visual effects and the score as they're walking under the ship and you see them again fully revealed as the cursed pirates. It's such good filmmaking. In my opinion, I think it's a really good set piece or good visual effect.
This is also a very memorable kind of like scene that they have in a moment here, like when he traps the hand inside the box.
Oh yeah,
and it's trying to kill him, and then the curse goes away, and the hand just becomes a dead hand.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh no.
No. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Dave Mattingly goes on to say in the old stories, the captain of the Flying Dutchman actually was, in fact, Will Turner. There you go. Fun facts. And by the way, thank you for that, Dave Mattingly.
So so basically that's just they're showing how Will Turner became
Will Turner.
Captain of the Flying Dutchman.
The captain of the Flying Dutchman, right?
Yeah.
He shoots his hat off. Yeah, these guys on the ship are fighting a losing battle against these cursed pirates. At least in the first half of the battle.
You know that these dudes are good fighters because the guys that survive to the end of this fight, like you're fighting guys that you can't kill. Right? So the guys that did survive, it's like they got to be decent fighters to survive to the end of that.
Yeah.
That's a fairly long fight if you really like think about like the time in this. It's like at least a good 45-minute fight that they're having on this ship while all this is going on.
Me, I'm dishonest. And a dishonest man you can trust to be dishonest. Honesty, it's the honest ones you want to watch out for. Because you never predict when they're going to do something incredibly stupid. Boom. Cure his plan, cue the music, and the battle between pirates, not so good pirates, and good guys and bad guys is on. And this is great. This is great cinematography. Just great fights.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, so I had to laugh at him cutting the feather. You know that like they had this on like that's a freehand camera right there, but like some of those were definitely wire shots.
Yeah.
The set design is so good in this movie. I mean, everyone just put their best. This is one of those movies where everyone in the cast and the entire crew just put their best foot forward and made this film the best it could possibly be for its time in 2003. She's
Cursed monkey! Cursed monkey!
I'm not bothered by the monkey. By the way, do you remember the movie? Do you remember the movie, Phil? Feel the chi. Repulse the monkey. Hey, Phil, I say we push him. There's no jury in the world that would convict us. Nah, too messy. We can do better.
God.
You remember that one?
Oh, man.
Feel the chi. Repulse the monkey.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Phil. What movie we going with here? What is it?
Wait a second. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, he knows this, Tim. I'm telling you. I'm surprised Tim doesn't know this.
No, I know. I know it.
Oh, okay. I want to see if Phil's gonna get it though. Because I've been watching it the last 2 days on streaming, so I'm just wondering if anyone else is gonna pick it up. The bell's ringing to the ship. We'll get to that in a moment.
And you got to think too, Phil. Also, with the good fighters, you also have the reinforcements coming back too.
Yeah.
Heavyweights. That's from heavyweights. That's from heavyweights. I was trying to think of the other line where you said,
I say we push them. There's no jury in the world that we can.
Right. That's when they're on the top of the hill and he's like
up the hill, you make it climb a mountain.
When he does like the crazy ass like doing like pull-ups on the dead tree, and they're like, he's crazy.
Well, he's doing a pull-up and he says, "How's this for fun, Cody? Sam, why don't you come out and join me?"
Buddy! Buddy!
Hey,
I have them on the buddy system.
I'm on the body. Oh, Barbossa just stabbed Jack. I think Jack's dead.
No.
Oh, he goes into the moonlight, and look at that.
That's a funny feeling.
That's very interesting. That's interesting. I couldn't resist, mate. See? That's his insurance policy in case he gets hurt in battle. Oh, I love the score of this movie.
Yeah.
So good. And for those of you wondering, we are at the 1 hour and 56-minute mark in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Feel free to join us on a physical media or streaming service. Queue up your copy, watch the movie with us. Let us know your thoughts, positive, negative, somewhere in between, in the comment section below, in the live chat. Whether you are joining us live on the replay, thank you so much for being here. And do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends.
So, like, about the score, right? So I'm a music major, right? Like that's kind of actually where I majored at and everything like that. Like that's something that I listen to, I pick up on. This is one of those movies where this was in the time when composers figured out that they didn't need an actual orchestra. Hans Zimmer did this entire score on a computer.
Oh, really?
All of this is basically he scored everything and then did everything on a computer and wrote everything himself. If you listen to it, there's certain beats in this that are very they're very created. Like they're not like, it doesn't have the nuance of like an actual musician. And it's one of those things where like you have to have like kind of almost like a trained ear for it, but it's something that you can severely lower the cost on doing a score if you have this software.
Oh.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Ooh, the boat just knocked those two suckers off the ship. All of you with me.
As far as you just see bones fly everywhere.
Yeah.
Who's in that cave? We must help him. Ready and heave.
And they're just like, for what?
What? What reason? Why would we do that? We're pirates. We don't believe in that. I need your help. Come on. Any port in a storm. Cotton's right. We've got the pearl. Are you going to leave Jack? Jack owes us a ship. There's the code to consider. The code. The code. You're pirates. Hang the code. Hang the rules. They're more like guidelines anyway.
What she got from Barbossa.
That's true. Bloody pirates. Bloody pirates.
Bloody pirates!
Pirates. She says that even louder in the second movie. She's like, pirates. You know, Elizabeth Swann does. Wait a minute. Is the ship supposed to be doing that? They're stealing our ship. Bloody pirates. I'm just saying. Oh boy.
I think the funniest and most British thing that they do in all of this is when they finally win the battle at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Huzzah!
Huzzah, that's right.
Oh god, yeah.
Huzzah! Like, oh my god, that is the most British thing ever. Parlay.
There comes the true heroes into the battle.
Not fair. Try wearing a corset.
Dave Manley says that eye becomes very important later. I like how Elizabeth Swann gets in on the action. And when she drops that line, do you like pain? Try wearing a corset. Like, that's She has her moment in the sun, man.
They pin like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gotta suck for them after this.
There's the grenade.
And then
Not fair. Oh, great job, guys.
and they're all like impaled at that point.
Oh yeah.
You wasted your one shot.
Oh, Jack just fired his pistol. 10 years you carry that pistol, and now you waste your shot. He didn't waste it. What? Oh, I don't think Barbossa's going to be getting up from that.
Oh yeah, this is all the world that exists in Ryan.
I feel cold. I feel cold. And yes, thank you, Dave. I feel cold. And then he also says, it's curtains for you 3. Yeah, those 3 pirates, yeah. Oh, look, the curse is over. Dave Manley says there's no way he's coming back for the sequel. ...
I know, right?
He actually comes back at the end of part 3. Spoiler alert, but whatever. The sequel's never happened.
I never realized that his face was bleeding at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he came, or it was lifted.
Yep, curse was lifted. Curse is over now. It's all lifted. Pirates that are left, time for you to surrender. The fight is over.
Phil, your favorite part will be coming up soon.
Paulette?
Paulette? Paul. The ship is ours, gentlemen.
Oh, God. Here it is.
There it is.
This makes me just want to front kick all of them off the ship. One by one.
Oh, God. Here comes Mr. Swan.
What do you think? You're a boxer? I think that would make anybody in the modern SAS want to kick those guys off the ship. Just like, nope, you're done.
They're just looking at themselves like, God, we came from that? What the hell?
You know what else came from that? Imperialism and racism. There we go.
Yeah, potato.
If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it. Now, if you're much obliged, drop me off of my ship.
This reminds me of Vala from Stargate SG-1 in the later seasons with Jack Ware and all that.
Wow, there's a reference.
Well, no, it's like the same scene. They find like this big treasure room, and she's just sitting there with all the jewels and pouring like a gauntlet of coins all over her.
Oh, okay.
Wearing like a tiara and shit.
Has anyone seen the sci-fi series Farscape?
When I was very, very young.
Anybody remember it? Was it any good?
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone seen Babylon 5?
Oh, absolutely.
Because they came out with a new animated movie for that, and then they just released a statement saying that for the 30th anniversary, they're re-releasing all the seasons of Babylon 5 on Blu-ray for the first time.
Nice.
Oh, really?
So if anyone's a Babylon 5 fan, you just got an announcement a few days ago saying that they're going to put it out for Christmas time, the entire series of Babylon 5 on Blu-ray remastered for the first time. So if any Babylon 5 fans out there, there you go. There's your heads up.
impersonating cleric of England. Oh yes.
Mr. Compton's parrot. Same question.
That's a big poopy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else like is kind of funny in this is how much he looks like a Three Musketeer. Just like
Yeah, and Will Turner does. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
like why do you have to look like a musketeer, dude?
Elizabeth, I should have told you from the moment I met you.
I love you.
Told you every day from the moment I met you. I love you. He does look like a fourth musketeer in this.
No, right? He looks like D'Artagnan. He does.
Yeah. Dude, that movie, The Three Musketeers, with who is it? Kiefer Sutherland and Chris O'Donnell and Oliver Platt and Charlie Sheen when Charlie Sheen was normal.
He looks like Chris O'Donnell when he played D'Artagnan. Dude.
And Tim Curry. By the way, that movie turns 30 later this year, Phil.
Oh, we have to watch that.
Dude, we have to. Three Musketeers is one of my favorite adventure movies.
Yeah, I
love
love
it. That was a good TV series too.
The BBC version. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend loves the BBC series. I need to watch that. I heard it was great.
You know what? I did not realize till just right now that was a callback to the beginning of the movie.
What?
When he
him
throws
throwing
the sword? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not realize that till just right now because like that he has this accuracy with the sword, like throwing a sword that he threw it for him to stand on, and it's a callback to when they first met because that's how he like locked him in.
Yep. See, Will says, "I love you, Elizabeth," and then he goes out and he frees Jack Sparrow from the noose. And now they're double teaming. They're teaming up. Oh. Takes out 3. Takes out 3 more. Takes out 2.
Oh, it is the British. It's easy to take them out.
It's a wonder that they took over the world the way they did.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
Oh, and now they're surrounded. Look at this.
Again, Will's just kind of like, hey, yeah, let's have some fun here. I'm gonna pointlessly just like put my sword against all of these bayonets. And a good man. He's like, yeah, he's talking about me.
You forget your place, Turner. It's right here between you and Jack.
Put your guns down.
For goodness sake, put them down.
Which at this point they just disobeyed a direct order on a Commodore because the governor actually doesn't have authority over a Commodore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually feeling rather good about this. I think we've all arrived at a very special place. Spiritually, economically, ecumenically, grammatically. I want you to know I was rooting for you, mate. Know that.
This part right here though, because like again, it's intentional, right? Like he makes it seem like he's bumbling, but he does it all on purpose.
Elizabeth, it would never have worked between us, darling. I'm sorry.
She's like, what?
Will, nice hat.
I love that. Like he delivers a line that all of us are already thinking. Again, like he knew what was going on. He knew that they were out there.
Because he saw the parrot.
Right.
And so did Will. Will saw it too. So it's the people who knew these characters, they knew what was going on. The rest of them had no idea.
Right.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you know what? You know what I do love about the opening scene in the next movie though is like it's you think that it's like, okay, Norrington is like, oh, I'm gonna I'm going to pursue him. I'm going to catch him. This is going to be cat and mouse between the two of us. It's going to be a sport. But then, like at the beginning of the movie, it's like Commodore Norrington lost his ship in a hurricane. Nobody knows where he is, and they find him in Tortuga.
Drunk with the pigs. Yeah.
Drunk with the pigs. Literally doing what Master Gibbs was doing.
And Dave Manley says Norrington hit rock bottom.
He does.
Does he die in the second movie, or does he die in the third one?
He dies in the third one, I think.
Yeah,
okay. I was kind of over his character after this one. Commodore, what about Sparrow?
Well, he didn't exist in your world. Remember, Ryan?
That's right. Yeah, the sequels never happened. I think we can afford to give him one day's head start.
I feel like Norrington was. It's like, okay, he's the antagonist, but it's kind of like he has his intentions. He's somewhat noble in the way that he carries himself.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name, but the dude who runs the East India Trading Company in the second movie.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name.
But he is loathsome. Like I enjoy hating him, which means that the actor that played him did a good job. Because
remember his death scene when he's just walking down the ship as it's exploding, touching the rails and everything. I was like, it's perfect. It's a perfect ending for that.
Yeah, like he was a character that I was rooting for him to die, because it was just kind of like, I really hate this guy.
Well, that's how you have a good villain, like Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, Joffrey on Game of Thrones was like perfect, because it's like he is the one person that everybody agreedly loved to hate.
Yeah,
because God, Joffrey was the biggest POS.
We figured there were more actual guidelines
and rules.
Oh, thank you.
Where to next, Captain?
Captain Sparrow. The pearl is yours. The black pearl is yours now.
Do we have a heading? And really bad eggs.
Dave Manley says Beckett was Norrington's boss.
That's who it was.
Yeah. You just gotta love this thing when he finally realizes he got it back.
The thing is that it's, I don't know if, because Beckett does become his boss, because he becomes a privateer and he works under the East India Trading Company. But because the East India Trading Company, even though they were the ones that actually like performed all of the conquering for the British Empire, they were not a part of the British Navy.
No, they were privateers, basically.
Yeah. Well, they were mercenaries essentially.
Yeah,
on behalf of the British Empire.
Those are some interesting fun facts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end credits sequence of what is known as Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and directed by Gore Verbinski. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our panelists. Thank you to you who may be watching or listening to this. This was a lot of fun. So, Phil, final thoughts on this particular movie, and on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give Pirates of the Caribbean?
Again, this movie brings back a lot of memories. It was one of those movies that I would turn on and just let run in the background, right? And I would watch this movie over and over again. It's a really well-made movie. It's really well directed. The music is really good. There's not anyone in this movie that essentially misses a beat, because again, one of those the two characters, the guy with the wooden eye and the puppet guy, I didn't know he wasn't British until like years down the line. Like, the characters were really well done, really well acted. As far as my rating, I would give this a solid 9 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie, because I mean, it has its issues in certain places. It's got like small little plot holes and things, but I mean, for the most part, the movie is really well done. And I also do like the callbacks, the way that they kind of like set certain things up and revisit them later on down the line in the movie. It's just signs of good writing, so I enjoyed it.
Rock on, man. Rock on. So, Tim, what are your thoughts, final thoughts on this movie? And on a scale of 1 to 10, when are you going to give The Curse of the Black Pearl?
I think Phil brought up a lot of good points with just the actors diving into the roles of this movie, which really brought the characters more to life, to really make it enjoyable. All the fun callbacks from this movie, and then further on with future things we'll explore with Jack's compass. Is this going to be the end of Barbossa? Of course, as long as you're not Ryan Permison, you know that Barbossa returns. That Ryan's gone crazy. But I mean, it really is. It really sets a good world of the Caribbean for these movies. For a movie basically based on a theme park. I mean, it's really surprising to say. You never really think about that as a movie based on a theme park. You're just thinking, oh, well, this would be a nice little summertime movie or something, nice little thing to escape the heat, go watch a movie or whatever. But it really does create a nice world with it, with all the characters, the settings. I mean, the backdrops are just gorgeous with all the set pieces like we talked about throughout the movie with Port Royal, Tortuga, just all of it. It's really great, and the music, the score itself really gets you into the scenes, from Jack's introduction coming into Port Royal on his little sinking ship, to the reveal of the curse, I guess you could say, with the pirates, and Barbossa's reveal there with Elizabeth, his little speech with her. It's really a solid movie, and I think really all of them are, for the ones I like, for the whole story of all of these characters. I really think those first three. I'd go a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, what movie isn't perfect? You can pick out bits and pieces to, well, why they do that, whatever. But it is a good, solid movie that really holds up. It's a nice movie you could just go and watch, have fun with, or if you want, put it on in the background, because it is a lot of fun, action-packed, especially with the choreography and the fighting that you had. It's very great, and it's a lot of, if you're a fan of movies with a lot of one-liners, this one has a lot of them. So I really say this is a solid movie, and it really does hold up after all these years. It is a good introduction into the Pirates saga, I guess you could say. So I know Ryan will say those don't exist, but kind of like the Code, Ryan's thoughts are like suggestions. It's like a guideline.
They're more like guidelines anyway.
Yeah. But Ryan, back to you.
Jeez. Oh my Lord. Driving me crazy. But I will say this. So for me, I love this movie when it came out. I love it to this day. 20 years later, this movie holds up very, very well. Cast is great. Story's great. The score is amazing. The scenery, the visual effect, the practical effects, the costumes, everything in this movie, everyone put their best foot forward to make it the best it could be at the time. Whether it's producer Jerry Bruckheimer, whether it's director Gore Verbinski, whether it's Klaus Badelt and Hans Zimmer doing the score. It's incredible work done by an incredible group of people. Jack Sparrow's great. Will Turner's great. Keira Knightley, one of the most beautiful women on the planet. And and once again, congratulations to the entire cast and crew of this movie. On a scale 1 to 10, I really like this movie. I may actually go up. I may actually give this a 10. I think I'm going to go with a 10. I really don't have any problems or nitpicks about it. I just love it. It's enjoyable. If you want an adventure movie, if you've never seen or heard anything about pirates before, this is a perfect entry into that world of how things worked, why pirates were so deceptive, why some were kind of anti-heroes or some worked for good, maybe not so good reasons. I mean, it's just fascinating stuff. It really is. So I'm going to go with a 10 out of 10. Those are my thoughts. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? What did you think of this movie? Did you like this movie? Did you like any of the sequels that followed after it? Are you hoping that they reboot it somewhere down the line? Are you looking forward to seeing maybe some new cast members or new characters be thrown into the mix for good measure? Leave any and all your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. In celebration of this movie, I'm wearing a Captain Hawkland Adventures shirt here, which this artwork was done by the incredible Jeffrey Hayes at Plastifier Graphics, where the look of your book matters to you. If you want more stories featuring pirates, action, adventure, nods to the old school serials of the olden times, such as movies like Indiana Jones, Treasure Island, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Shadow, whatever, you're going to want to check out stormgatepress.com and look up those books, the Captain Hawkland Adventures, written by Charles F. Millhouse with cover art by Jeffrey Hayes of Plasmafire Graphics at plasmafiregraphics.com. But don't forget, we got a lot of great things coming your way very soon. Oh, my goodness gracious. But before I get to that, Tim, where can the good people in the interwebs follow you on social media and everything that you have coming up, Tim? What do you got?
You can find me always helping Ryan with these ones, going over a lot of movies I never really get to have a chance to fully sit down and rewatch. So it's a lot of good episodes here for when I get to help out with a lot of the commentary for the movies to really get a chance to really get to see some good ones. You can find me on YouTube on my TM Smith Reactions channel. Like I talked about a couple before this, in August for NFL season, I plan on doing a certain football talk type of show, going over some of the top stories, going over every week with predictions for the games to come, and then the week after going over those predictions with guests that I have to see how well we're holding up, see how we're going into the NFL season. I'm hoping to have, like I said, I'm still working on that regular host for it, but I'll have special guests throughout it. So we'll start like a week before the regular season starts to carry that throughout the whole season of the NFL for this year and into next, because it follows into the next year. But we're gonna start doing that. That's going to be every Tuesday night. We'll go through that to get ready for, since we have to do Thursday games now. Fucking NFL. But we're going to start. I hate that they started Thursday games so bad, but I'll go into that on the show. But we'll start it. We'll do it every Tuesday night going into the upcoming week for the games, and we're going to carry that on throughout the whole season. So get ready for that. That'll be on my TM Smith Reactions channel.
All right.
Fantastic stuff, man.
We can all thank Amazon for paying for that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's the thing. Bezos wants to spend so much money into, let's go to space. Let's create an extra goddamn game of the week. It's like, Jeff, from me to you, fuck off.
Language. Anyway, aside from the craziness of sports and NFL sports talk, Phil, where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media and everything you have coming? Because Lord knows you guys never quit over there at DN. So what do you got coming up?
No. Oh, you just kicked me out of the stream. It's fine. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. In my defense, I was left unsupervised. So it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your boy, Young Phil. Well, I might not be your boy, but I am the boy, Young Phil. I am one of the co-hosts on the Distance Thirding podcast. Guys, we do live shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays from 6 to 8. It's actually from 6:30 to 8:30. It's actually 6:30 to whenever we finish Pacific Standard Time. We do a show called The Download. Essentially, we talk news, rumors. We do trailer reactions. We do reviews. Right now, we're doing something called The Breakdown, and we're breaking down. All of a sudden, I'm forgetting the name of it. Secret Invasion. And what we do is we break down all the Easter eggs in the previous week's episode, and just talk about, like, hey, here are the Easter eggs for this episode if you didn't catch them, that kind of stuff, right? So check that out, guys. At Distance Nerding on YouTube's and on the Twitches, and then of course we do a show called The Build. You heard me mention it earlier on Thursdays from 6 to 8. It's more of a hard time on that one, but on that one I build Lego on stream. And we interview fun and interesting people, anywhere from celebrities to comic book creators to indie film creators, things like that. Like we just kind of want to spread the love all over the place. And then we do things like nerd brackets. We're doing best DC animated film right now. So fun stuff like that. And in the process, just kind of give you guys an idea of the kind of things I build. Like here goes Commander Cody's helmet from Star Wars. I'm currently building. Gonna reach over the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm building the Haunted Mansion right now. This is the progress that I got finished on this last yesterday's episode. So that's the kind of fun stuff that we do on that show. If you guys want to check us out, and then I do game streams from 8 to 12 on Monday mornings. Right now I'm playing Jedi Survivor, and then I started doing story mode on Street Fighter 6. So fun stuff on that, just mainly because with our sister channel, Kuiper Cave Productions, we're going to be doing a tournament, and we're going to do that. So I built a character in Street Fighter just so I can create that character and beat the crap out of everybody with him. So there we go. With that, guys, again, you can follow us on all social media places, the Twitch, the Twitter, the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube's, Facebook, what else? MySpace, GeoCities, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, Tinder. You can always find us on OnlyFans. Our OnlyFans is only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. And then, of course, the aforementioned Superman, 50 Shades of Superman that we were talking about earlier. So, what's funny is that thing probably actually exists, and I'm plugging.
I just saw the private chat. Yeah.
And I'm plugging. No pun intended. I'm plugging something that doesn't actually exist. So, guys, come and follow us. Just remember.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Shut up! Take my money.
Okay, so we will see you guys. At least distance nerding. We'll see you guys later. Time for the dance party. Let's go. Sorry, wrong show.
Thank you, Mr. Wilhelm. Wow. Okay. I don't know how I can follow that up, but I'm going to try. So my name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. You can follow me Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. All the links to where you can follow us, as well as Distance Learning and everybody else located in the description below. Make sure you check out. We're on the road to 1,000. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big live celebration with returning guests, some surprise guests, and we're going to have exclusive giveaways for that broadcast. So make sure you tell all your friends about us because we want to reach 1,000. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big celebration. Also, next movie anniversary watch-alongs are already up. We got one on, Saturday. We're doing The Mask of Zorro. And then on Monday, we're going to have the 15th anniversary of The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale and company. Also, next watch-alongs are going to be August 11th. Searching for Bobby Fischer turns 30. Yeah, that's a good, criminally underrated film.
Oh, my
and then
God.
on August 21st, the 25th anniversary of the Marvel film known as Blade, August 21st, is going down. Oh, yeah.
Are we doing a rated R stream for that one? Are you doing a rated R stream for that one?
Well, I mean, the movie's rated R.
I will take a shot for every time Blade kills a vampire.
No, let's not do that. But anyway, that's coming up on August 21st.
Are you out of your mind? Just for the sake of you, I bleep myself. But I mean, like...
Well, yes, I know what you're referring to. But anyway, those are our next movie anniversary. Get out of here. These are our next movie anniversary watch-alongs. Stay tuned. Lots of great things coming your way very soon. Check out our good friends over there at stormgatepress.com. and at plasmafiregraphics.com. There's some great people over there. They do some wonderful, wonderful things. Good Lord. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified when our new videos go up. And remember, life is better when watching movies with friends. Take a look.
Thanks for watching.
You don't know what this is, do you? Aztec gold. The heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse. 10 years we've searched. Every last piece we have found, save for this. Hello, Bobby.
They've taken Elizabeth.
Welcome aboard the Black Pearl.
We must save her.
Where do we start?
Jack Sparrow. He talked about the Black Pearl. Make a deal with him. He can lead us to it.
You forget your place. You are a blacksmith.
If you spring me from this cell, I shall take you to the Black Pearl and your bonny lass.
You're a pirate.
Forgot one very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Not sure I deserve it. You're not facing normal pirates. Cruel, demented, vicious pirates, to be certain.
Say goodbye. Goodbye.
But cruel, demented, vicious pirates who cannot be killed. The moonlight shows us for what we really are.
That's interesting.
We are cursed men.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. sure remember Captain Jack Sparrow. Kill him. I'm gonna teach you the meaning of pain.
You like pain? Try wearing a corset.
Here they come.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse of the Black Pearl.
I may have deserved that.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.